Wesh les mecs.
Proof that it's not all about just grinding and playing all the way through. You got to do your VOD review. You got to take care of your body, get those wrist stretches in. That's Zexo's story there. We'll see how they perform today. We've got one final group of duos to let on the floor. It's going to be Serpent and Hype, Wolfies and Rojo, Skite and Vato, 4 wins and Tux, Kluja and Thomas HT, and then finally Puz and Ming.
I mean, there's so many players in here you can call out. Serpent and Hype were the original. Can you translate it to Sunday? They won so many of those semifinals, and in the last week, were able to do it. I got an opportunity to actually talk with Rojo in the practice room, and he says he's excited to be here, wants to play, wants to get on the stage, and knows he'll be able to enact their game plan. He wouldn't tell me what it was, and I wouldn't leak it anyway. Though the stream duo, kind of a little bit of parity there between Vinny and Zexro. Skype battling a ton of wrist issues and then able to overcome it, and I got to speak with him as well, and he's like, I'm just happy. I'm glad I'm here, man, and there was a fantastic post he did about it.
Yeah, he had that twit longer where he basically went through how he lost his confidence because of his wrist issue and then gained it back because of the support of all of you guys at home who supported Skype through his journey, the French community doing so as well. Moving on forward, Borwin and Tux, somebody I think is very interesting because they qualified and moved through the entire, they switched duos at the last second, so same thing.
And then you have Kluja, a player who qualified as well for the solo competition, and Thomas, his partner from Singularity, and the final duo, Puz and Ming, representing from South Korea. Unfortunately, there was an Asian team who was unable to make it. Puz and Ming having won in the Week 8 qualifier where there wasn't an additional spot, and on top of that, their consistent placements earned them that alternate spot coming out of the region. We had an opportunity to talk with them and have a package set up, and let's see what they had to say.
저는 밍이라고 하고 이제 아시아에서 진출하였습니다. 저는 퍼즈라고 하고 아시아에서 진출한 사람입니다. 가장 좋은 성적을 내서 대체 선수로 뽑혀서 왔더니 이제 아시아에서 듀오 한 팀이 진출을 못해서 저희가 이제 좋은 기회를 얻게 되어서 이렇게 진출하게 되었어요. 게임하기 전에 이제 계속 어떻게 게임을 플레이할지 생각을 하고 하는 거죠.
그냥 연습을 최대한 시간에 맞게 활용을 하고 최대한 많이 노력을 하다 보면
칭칭칭칭.
I mean, I can only imagine what is going through their heads. First, taking the top spot in a week where there wasn't a qualification spot, and then having one of the most consistently best placements, then being chosen as an alternate, and finding out you're going to be competing, having a chance to represent Asia and South Korea here, and they are very good. They're known for playing aggressively, trying to find a side of a zone, box themselves up, and get some shots towards the side of the rotation. If they can get that position, don't expect them to not be dangerous, because they will make some waves, and that's the competition. Those are all the players. Those are the 100 best Fortnite players in the world, the 50 best duos, and now there's a duo in particular. We talked about it. The loudest duo when they're announced. They want to be the loudest duo when all is said and done. We have Mitro and Mongrel down on the floor. Jordan, what do they have to say?
We are all so excited to see these two play, and honestly to hear their comms. It's one of my favorite things when I watch these guys play. Now, competing online and competing at a LAN is two very, very different things, obviously. What is the preparation like going into competing at a LAN together?
Competing at LAN is definitely different. Personally, I like it more just because I like the environment, but online is easier, but I don't know, I just like LAN more.
Fair. You can't beat the energy in a stadium like this. A lot of people are really excited and stoked to be here, and especially to see you guys play. We can't wait.
Thank you so much, Jordan. And now, just those guys, they sound excited, but that's it. Enough from us talking. The 50 best duos in the world are on the stage, competing for their share of $15 million, ball. And I mean, 6 games away from winning $3 million to the top duo.
Just think about that. 6 games, and then we'll find out who is the best duo in the world. Hands down, no question about it, the best. 6 games. We're going to do that real soon.
The duos were world champions will be crowned. But that's it. The pre-show is over. Enough from us up here. We'll be breaking down gameplay later. We're going to toss it on inside to kick the show off. You guys have a good one.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. C'est parti. Après, il commence déjà. Wesh, Nas. Ça vient.
It's amazing. It's like you feel so free, it's ridiculous. And then we just kind of watched like our names pop up on the screen. It was pretty surreal.
It was a huge sigh of relief. All the hard work we did just finally paid off. We were kind of going nuts.
She finds the zone. He has to go forward though, because there's that change in elevation. She finds the first shot, can't find the second, and he does! Speed left. That is why he's a World Cup qualifier. This is it right here, the 1v1. Who is the other player in the round?
He takes what? Damage to himself, and all of a sudden it's complete chaos.
What a win! Victory Royale! GG!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the
Il y a du monde,
Fortnite World Cup Finals live from my hometown, baby, New York City. Where you at? Where you at? That's what I like to hear. This is it, people. The moment that we've been waiting for. 10 weeks of competition leads to this. I'm your host, Golden Boy, and I couldn't be more pumped to be here because we're about to see the greatest Fortnite players in the world go up against each other in duos competition. Millions in prizing on the line, and most importantly, what's right behind me, the championship, the trophy, the first ever Fortnite World Champion. We're gonna crown that today, and it's gonna be awesome. And I want to know if everyone here in the Arthur Ashe Stadium, are you hyped? Are you ready? You know what? Maybe I can't do the job. I think this will do some justice.
C'est pas grave, Nas. Ouais, toi, MKZ. Best timer, MKZ.
Now, I know everyone here is excited to get to the games, and we're going to do so in a little bit. The players are gearing up and getting ready to go. You know that each and every one of you inside of this stadium, you're just pumped. You had your opportunity to go out to the festival. You've managed to meet up with your friends and made some great times here in New York City. And obviously, our players are here to win a world championship. And the good news is we have two players standing by with Jordan Fisher who are looking like they can contend for the top of the mountain.
Thank you, GB. You are a handsome handsome man. Now, I'm going to be super, super honest and very, very forward right now when I say that I've got two of my favorite people in this stadium right now that are competing together. Two of my favorite people to play with, two of my favorite people to watch and study. We have Sean and Aiden. Aiden, one of the most dominating controller players in the world, and he's proved it time and time again. With Sean on mouse and keyboard, one of the most mechanically skilled and gifted players in all of Fortnite. Now, with this combination of one of you on a controller and one of you on mouse and keyboard, there's got to be some pretty unique strategy that you guys can pull together. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, our synergy is great. Like you said, he's one of the best mechanical players. His tunnels are insane. Like, it's just insane watching him play. And just, you know, me being an aggressive player and having good aim, we really combo together well. I'm hoping we're going to do good.
1000%. Now, Sean, you both competed in the Pro-Am yesterday, which was a lot of fun. We all know that was a very sweaty lobby. But your thought process, your strategy going into today, tell me how that differs from yesterday and your performance there.
I think yesterday was like super fast paced. You need to get kills to place well. But today we're going to go for end game, play super slow, and let's hope we can kill it end game.
Fantastic. Well, we're all so excited to see you guys. GB, what do you have for us?
Always a pleasure to hear from the Ghost duo. They're going to look to go to the top, and they very well might do that. Now, I asked you guys earlier, I said, are you ready? So I'm going to ask you again, New York City, are you ready? Oh, no, I got to take the earpiece off. New York City, this is my hometown, and I know we can make some noise, so I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready? The Fortnite World Cup Finals start now. Let's send it over to your casters, Courage and Ninja.
Courage and Ninja,
gentlemen, it is time. The Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Everything on the line here today. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop. And well, guess what? I'm joined by a surprise guest appearance, Tyler Ninja Blevins. I am so excited for today's action. Ninja, dude, the emotion here is insane.
You have no idea, man. These guys have been playing for months, practicing, doing nothing but thinking, eating, sleeping, breathing Fortnite.
Oh, les pulls World Cup sont pas mal.
Absolutely at an all-time.
I'm nervous right
now. I'm just casting. I'm not even playing. Meanwhile, they're paying for $15 million, but it's not your normal Fortnite today. Let's take a look at the format, catch everyone up to speed. I know a lot of new eyes will be on Fortnite competitive today. And Ninja, here's the format.
Ok, what? Wesh, c'est comme le Pro-Am. 10 points top 1. Du coup, là, ça se joue pour le top 1. Ou bien non. Et Rox, hier, il a gagné le Pro-Am sans faire top 1. Aïe aïe aïe. Premier 3 millions, deuxième 2 millions 250. Troisième 1 million 8. Quatrième 1 million 550. En gros, t'es dans le top 10, t'es bien. Oh, je suis con.
Settle for 1 point. Settle. I'll settle. No, we've been playing. We've both been competing for a long time, and I've been competing for almost 10 years. Prize pool's never even come close to this. This is life-changing.
Yeah, absolutely mind-blowing numbers right there. Again, everyone who made it this far, $50,000 in their pocket, but their eyes are on that top 10. They want to jump up that prize money ladder. Again, we are live right now for the Fortnite World Cup Finals. There are so many talented players here today from across the world. We want to hear your thoughts on Twitter. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Really, anywhere you can use hashtags. I know we both have our predictions.
Oh, absolutely.
You
want to go first?
No. You go first. Who for you is your standout that you're looking to see if they can take it home today?
Dude, man, I mean, I gotta give it up to Mongol and Mitro. I think they're gonna definitely close it out. They've been, I really am just super interested to see how they play. I've been watching a lot of their World Cups after they've already qualified. Hands down, one of the most aggressive.
Ok, il a dit que Zema, Mongol et Mitro vont gagner.
What are they gonna do that here? Are they gonna go for placement?
C'est ses
or are they gonna
favoris.
still W-key like they've always been doing?
That's typically been their gameplay of choice. There's a look again at Mongol and Mitro, both qualifying from Europe. You see, last time they played, in the week they qualified, their drop of choice was Loot Lake. So will that remain the same
Tu
today?
regardes ça sur ta PS4, toi. Un jour, comment ça va soirée, toi, mec?
Will be so key. You go with a European duo. Yeah. I'm picking a European duo as well. Another young squad, Mr. Savage M and Benji Fishy. Dude, Mr. Savage M is cold-blooded. Every time I met him, I'm scared of him. And they're absolutely insane, as you can see right here on your screen. We'll get those pictures fixed, don't worry. But either way, these guys are two absolute tanks. And Ninja, you've watched all these guys. You're absolutely one of the best players in the world. But it's almost like these guys are in a class of their own.
They are, man. I mean, I've competed against some of these guys in some other online tournaments as well. And literally watching Benji just slay out an entire lobby by himself in squads is. It's like, it's art, man. You know, what these guys do, it's art, so enjoy.
I know Mr. Savage in a public match got like 40-plus eliminations in Season 9, which is unheard of, all by himself, solo squads. There are so many ways you can watch those.
Ah, vas-y, stop le blabla, commencez les matchs.
Million-plus of you guys tune in. As you guys know, so many ways to watch. You've got Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere where there's live streams. Also, a new Fortnite.com/watch feature that you can go take a look at. You'll see some different individual feeds there that will be a crazy, unique way to watch Fortnite competitive for the first time. I know everyone at home looking forward to seeing their top players perform.
En fait, je pars sur Fortnite, taper R2 et puis voilà.
This is one of the most ridiculous arenas I think I've ever seen for an esports event, and I know people flooding on in from the outside. I just can't wait to get it started.
Dude, this is literally what I've been waiting for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
The best of the best, all in the same lobby. All right, in the qualifying matches on Sunday, you're playing against in a lobby, maybe like 4 or 5 of the teams who are actually here right now, but now
ils sont dans la ville de départ,
in the same lobby. Every single battle is going to be the best players in the world fighting against one another. I'm excited to watch the early game when they're landing in their spots. I'm excited to watch the mid game during the rotations. I'm going to be taking notes, and you guys should too.
Yeah. Also, other things that note to take to bring up. We're going to be playing on site.
Vas-y, il a commencé là.
You want to explain for everyone at home exactly how that all works?
I'd absolutely love to. So, unlike normal matches, when you get an elimination, all right, you're going to be granted with 50 health or 50 shield, depending on what you're missing. And that's also going to give you 1 point as well. They also drop 50 mats of each, wood, brick, and metal. So, you know, eliminations are definitely going to pay off early game as you guys can stack up those materials.
Yep. And remember, that is when you get a full elimination, not when you knock down an opponent.
Correct.
So, if I knock a player, you'll see in this a lot more times.
Vas-y,
try to finish that elimination, get the health, go pick up the materials, maybe secure some extra loot. There's a look at the lobby screen, and you know, Ninja, I was laughing with you earlier when the players were warming up earlier today because they got some warm-up games in. Obviously, for many of them, it's their first time in a major LAN event. They wound up going through, and they were just sitting at the spawn island like they were right now. I mean, look at the build battles happening on spawn island. They're all editing, they're all aiming. None of them are just sitting still. The nerves running through them insane. The average age in today's tournament, 16 years old. Some of these guys are going to walk away with $1 million+ this weekend. At 16, what would you have spent your money on? I don't even want to know. Why not even ask that? Probably
16, man? Just a bunch of candy and energy drinks, man. I didn't really.
So basically the same as today.
Exactly. Nothing really would change. Nothing's changed.
No, it's so much fun, man. Again, people flowing on into the venue. Looking at these duos, looking at these contested areas, right? Loot Lake has been a very hot topic.
Yeah, man.
You know, Aiden had been landing there throughout all of qualifiers. You see, you know, Mongrel and Mitro. I've been hearing some notes about, you know, Tilted Towers and or Neo Tilted, as it's now called, of where they're going to go. In your opinion, right now you play 6 games.
Yep.
You know how detrimental it could be to your mental state if you have one where you kind of drop right off spawn and get taken out.
Yeah.
What is your game plan here? Are you going for it? You don't care how many people land there? You just go and play your game? Or
I think
you shy away? What do you do?
Oh, man, these guys have been practicing. They know. They know that they're going to be contested. Yeah. They know that, and they're not, you know, if they're, you know, intelligent players, they're going to play exactly how they've been practicing the last 10 World Cup qualifiers. They're going to go exactly where they go. They're going to push where they're going to push. And, you know, they're not going to care who it's going to be. Now, me, honestly, I'd like to say that that's how I play. But, dude, in a situation like this, I think that if I saw someone contesting my drop, I'd definitely defer and try to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, you have one bad game. Getting over that, that's going to be a huge mental obstacle, right? You get knocked first. Yeah. That's going to be something that you're going to be thinking about in the second game, the third game. Oh, my gosh, should we change our landing spots? If you're thinking like that, it's over. Dude.
Yeah, and I keep seeing you look down. You're like eagerly wanting to talk about this map. We have what the first map is going to be in front of us. But again, guys, there's so many exciting things going on in the world of Fortnite right now. One of the new limited time modes that is actually going on.
Mais vas-y, Taras, raconte pas ta vie, commence. Après, tu rentres vraiment.
It's a fun little, you know, hide and go seek game almost, Ninja.
Prop hunt is the greatest thing that Fortnite has created. From creating.
Non, je vis pas avec lui, je sais pas.
I mean, we were literally getting like angry and like, but also just laughing hysterically right when we're about to, you know, make it into the incinerator and get our points.
Racontez pas vos vies, putain de merde.
You want to be anything? You want to be a pink flamingo, a bus? Go for it.
Go for it.
Just go for it.
Yeah, we've had some fun games of prop hunt that we played. But again, right now, live in the gameplay for free, prop hunt. A little bit different than the competitive settings. Obviously, Arena, it's been talked about, Ninja. This is the most played in qualifier for a tournament ever in the history of gaming. 40 million competitors, down to the top 200. To be exact, 178 because of the double qualified players.
Right.
That is, you can't even put in like your head just how insane those numbers are.
I think it's just important to show and let everyone know that, man. Just Epic continues to change the game. Making these qualifiers online, it just allowed so many of these kids to be here today because they've been able to play it, from the comfort and safety of their home instead of traveling across the world just to qualify.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the first times we've seen something like this, a qualifying like this.
Racontez pas vos
Excited to watch these
vies.
kids dominate the next freaking 4 hours, 6 hours. I'm ready to stay here all night.
Hey, I'm down to stay here all night. I have no problem with that. I'm sure the Arena is as well. When you talk about LAN events, right, you have so much competitive experience. You've been to so many across different games and genres. The one thing that stands out to me, though, it will never feel the exact same as it does as playing at home. So for these guys, what are some tips that you can share or you think that they should kind of take into account as they're playing, maybe on LAN for the first time?
Well, do what I always tell people when they're saying, hey, Ninja, I'm going to a tournament, any advice, right? It's to do exactly what you do at home, all right? If you wear socks and, no shoes at home, that's what you're going to do. If you don't wear any socks at all or you wear sandals, you wear that. If you wear nothing but sweats and PJs when you're gaming and practicing, that's exactly what you should be wearing right now when you're competing, right?
Yep.
Don't try to change anything up. Drink what you normally drink before the games, water, energy drinks, whatever the case may be, or, eat what you're going to eat. Do not change anything up. It's very important to get in that mental state of what you do and how you've been practicing the entire time at home.
I've even heard of stuff as far as like don't change
Yeah,
sleep
plus,
schedule
no.
or
Absolutely.
for this. Like literally take it like it normally is. Now, again, we talk about how there's $30 million on the line of the Fortnite World Cup Finals across today and tomorrow, but there's already been $3 million in prize money given away this weekend. That happened yesterday at the Creative World Cup Finals. Let's take a look.
Encore un trailer. Ils ont un petit problème, c'est sûr.
And we're here in the player
On
lounge
s'en
right
fout de
now,
ta vie.
joined by the winners of the Creative World Cup. First of all, congratulations. Now, Scissors, how does it feel now to solidify that title?
It's kind of awesome considering I love creative mode. It's thriving, it's awesome, I love it.
Now, Tyler, did you ever believe that you guys would secure the position here today?
Yeah, I always knew we had it in the bag. We're the week 1 qualifiers. We're the most stacked team. There was no competition. Just when the last map was a death run, I knew we had that in the bag. We got some good players here. I knew Zan would clutch up, and he did just that.
You could tell he lifted the finger. He said, we need 1 coin. Just grab this coin right down here. If he can do this without being eliminated.
Here it is. The win. Oh, he missed it, but gets it with the trap trigger.
You realize that one jump won this group
s'en
here
fout.
an extra $1 million. It's unreal.
Like, if you want to practice with death runs, you need to do it slow. Don't go in blindly. Try and change everything you do every time you fail.
Suzu, can you see yourself doing even more with creative? I mean, the success of today. Will you continue to go and play creative maps?
I think I would definitely stay consistent with creative because I feel like there's a lot of potential in creative still. And yeah, definitely this is my thing.
But I want to go down the line and see what each of you guys plan on doing with that prize.
I would probably end up saving most of the money, maybe some investments.
He's 18 and he just won $336,000. What are you going to do with the prize?
Rent? Yeah, I think rent. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to save my money.
I am going to be responsible and probably just invest most of it and try and get even more money back.
All right, guys, congratulations again. Absolutely outstanding job. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see what the future of Creative Fortnite looks like.
The Creative World Cup Finals, so much fun yesterday. Again, congratulations to Scissors and his team. $1.3 million won. I'm going to address the elephant in the room here, and it's not Tim the Tabman. You didn't win that, Tyler.
That's correct.
What exactly happened here?
That's correct. No, we got 4th place, but the crew that I picked out, man, Cal, Taco, Kaz, just a good bunch of kids, man. I mean, I think, and I also got to meet a lot of
Par contre, ils rentrent fou là, ils vont rester un an avant de
just a lot of passion
commencer la World Cup.
and I was really happy that I was able to, not even me, together as a unit, we pulled in 300 or 295,000 as a team. I mean, little whips, man. We were just killing it, little ice creams. But that event was so incredible. And just another thing that kind of came out of nowhere again, that Epic changed the game with creative. You know what I mean? It kind of popped up out of nowhere. All these people, so many people, there were hundreds of people here because of creative.
Yeah. And again, I know I talked to Scissors about it too. He can't believe just how far it's gone from his original runs he made to now. It kind of inspired one of the 3 maps yesterday for you. What was your favorite? Was it kind of the prop hunt mode? Was it the run?
Junkyard Juke, bro. Okay. Hands down, Junkyard Juke is the most fun game I've ever played. I mean, if you're gonna go in with a crew of like 32 people, you can even muster up a crew of 32 people. Like, I want that to be a playlist where I can just go and play Junkyard Juke, and it just fills in 32 people. It's so much fun, man.
I'm with that. What about, should we get the whole squad together or not?
I'm down with. Oh, we totally should. We should get a massive content creation squad and just go into that. It'd be the most funny thing in the world. I mean, there's nothing greater when you're a little teddy bear and you're just walking around like trying to make it in. It's amazing, man.
Hey, listen, it's all fun and games here. Obviously, the theme of this weekend, things going on outside of the fan festival. There's also the Battle Pass redemption. Everyone here has got tickets, has the commemorative tickets. So many things to look back on and remember these moments. For a lot of people here, whether they're players or the individuals and fans who traveled, it's their first time to New York City. Such a legendary, iconic place to have this major event. You see again the crowd continuing to fill on in, just getting some final things set up for the game so we can get it all launched for you. But trust me, we're all eagerly awaiting the start as well. So many organizations represented throughout the weekend, and I have just received the word that we want, Ninja. The game is ready to go.
I'm ready. The first Vic Roy, man. Who's it going to be, guys? All right, I want you guys to scream out your favorite duos right now, man. Let's make some noise.
Who do you think's going to win today? Scream it. Make it. I want to hear. Oh, it's gibberish. None of it makes sense.
I think I hear Mongrel, Nitro.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the
Oh nice, c'est bon, ça a enfin commencé. Aïe aïe. Top night worker.
This is going to be intense. I mean, there's nothing more, honestly, nerve-wracking than the initial launch. Off the bus, man. You're flying. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to be eliminated. Who's going to be the first one?
Yep.
You don't want to be the first one knocked out in the World Cup. You know, I mean, literally, I knocked him like, it was the first game in the Pro-Am, and that was just amazing. He can't live that down. I don't want to be the first person knocking this.
No, for sure. As now we immediately hop on board with my pick to dominate today, Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, and they're heading right towards Happy Hamlet, a place they've gone so many times, and this is contested. So you're flying on into here, Ninja. The early game's so key, and already Benji Fishy trying to put shots down range with that revolver, but area is contested. You see they're kind of split each other right now. What are their comms like in this exact moment?
I mean, I think right now they're just going to be trying to hear exactly where these guys are, footsteps, any type of information they can pass off to one another is going to be very important. They've been practicing this landing. I'm pretty sure I watch these guys play literally every week because they're from EU, so they were before NA qualifiers. And yeah, this is exactly where they normally land. Savage and Benji, they don't always land on top of one another. And you're honestly at a disadvantage if you do land in the same house because you're going to be getting less shields of one another, right? Less chances of getting shotguns and things like that. And I'm just interested to see how they're going to play this out. Are they going to be aggressive? Are they going to back down?
Well, we just saw the first zone has been revealed, and it is a northern side zone, so anyone in Happy Hamlet not safe. Polar Peak, Frosty Flight, Paradise Palms, Lucky Landing, all not safe. So we continue to keep an eye on this fight. 98 players remaining right now in this game. Now, we mentioned the increased material farming right now, so you're hitting a couple of trees. You're getting 20, 30 seconds. Let's shift our focus, though, towards the middle of the map here at Dusty Divot, and it looks like Landjock and Punisher go out very, very early in this first game to Tetra and Eclipse, the new Rogue members.
They're wasting a lot of material right now. You can already see it.
There's a good joke qui ont été éliminés.
That's 10 builds. These early game fights are always so detrimental. You have to be very, very, very particular with how many mats you're going to use when you're trying to ramp rush somebody, because if you make it there and they shoot you out and you have no mats, I mean, you're left with literally nothing to protect yourself with.
And look at the advantage that you now have. Tetra hasn't had any shields, but because 2 eliminations come on through, he gets both. That's 50 shield per elim, putting him at max HP, and now he can completely change how he takes this fight. It's not like the normal games where you're still stuck at 100 health and you might second guess what you want to do. You might play a little more passively. No, because of those early elims, they now have Dusty Divot to themselves. They pushed out the Asian duo, pushing towards that top.
Ce mec-là, il a fait faire tout le monde de Destiny.
They're sitting pretty. Divot all to themselves. They've got metal gold.
Même son allié, il est parti à eux, pour il a eu peur.
Yeah, definitely going to be lacking stone. They can get a 500 metal, which is
Il y a
going to be
2
their
kills
most
déjà,
valuable asset here, landing in is, you know, they have no rotation items.
Là, on voit pas de joueurs en soutien, pas de FR. Du coup, Badrgoku, hein.
So no ballers, it's going to be very difficult to make it to the late game if you guys don't have some sort of crazy rotation, shadow bombs, anything like that.
Here's another fight going on towards Fatal Fields, and with how little materials there are, you got to think these players down low who are already just on light HP are in a tough spot, and there it is. Scarlet and his duo, Bell, get the quick elimination onto Brush. That's going to push back Brush's duo into Fatal Fields to try to hide for a brief moment. Another rough start right there. So much stone in Fatal Fields. I feel like Fatal Fields is a underrated landing spot.
I think you can get everything at Fatal Fields. You definitely get wood and brick very quickly, and then there's definitely some metal that you can gather around. You know, there's a bunch of cars and things like that. Some tractors there in the sticks. But listen, man, I'm really curious as to why they're not pushing Sizz.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword too, because yes, Sizz is by himself, but we've all experienced how easily you can hide in that brush there in the cornfields. And Sizz Lucky, these top players who land Fatal Fields, know how to actually navigate the loot in the corn without breaking the corn. So
I need to break the corn every time.
Right, same. I'm not good enough to know, but there's a certain path you can go on, and Sizz Lucky will actually be able to go back and pick up Brush's cards. So this is key.
You think you should go
Reboot
for it?
Vans. Remember when you get
Mais encore il veut s'en allier. Les autres ils s'en foutent, ils sont en train de se barrer de Fatal. Mais non, il y en a un qui se rapproche. Et ça fait pas mal par là. Ça met des trappes, ça merde. Franchement, ça c'est un joueur pro. Je pense pas. Je pense que c'est un joueur, il a sauté dans les qualifs et il s'est qualif. Parce que là.
Right there, I mean, there's another knock with a drum shotgun, just absolutely wreaking havoc. Ewing trying to take this wall. I think his teammate is not going to be able to stay alive, so it's going to be Zex and Yu. He's got the shield advantage. All he has to do is play this patient. I'm pretty sure that these guys don't have that many materials, so just needs to spray it out and hopefully find a chance to take him down, but he's healing up.
Yeah, Zexro has minis as well as big shields, so we'll be able to get back the full shield. And Ewing now in a tough spot. Do I try to go?
Zex definitely can interrupt this now. He took too long to start going with the res, but it looks like he's just going to be going for the reloads, taking his time, and he might be dipping out, maybe trying to. He's definitely staying aggressive, but he's going to get the revive off, and now it's 2-on-1 again.
Là, c'est pas du tout intéressant. Là, ce qui nous intéresse, nous, c'est la zone.
At over 150 HP, the teammate has to be at 30 health. The wall comes through, trying to spray it, and it's not going to happen. And you see Zexro right there, hands right to his head. Some solid damage done, but Ewing dropped down to 59 HP, but with that elimination, we'll bump
Là, il va perdre 3 millions sur
Very important is checking out the storm right now. A lot of these players, there's a lot. You guys can't see the screen.
Vas-y, mettez-nous sur la com DFR, là. Rendez pas fou à mettre des noms.
This is actually where a lot of very talented players with their aim can clean up a lot of kills. This is actually my teammate and I's reverse. Our strategy was to try to get in those spots where you can beam people who are going to be flying throughout the sky using a lot of the slipstreams and just taking advantage of, your incredible accuracy.
A little update too on Sizz Lucky. They did get the reboot in Fatal, so they're both back in play. Look at how slow this lobby is going, folks. 92 players left, and a definite fan favorite here. Nate Hill and Funk of FaZe Clan currently set up near Lazy Lagoon. And Ninja, this is your landing spot that you went to with your duo reverse.
Pas trop de fight, vivement l'endgame. On verra Airwax soulever tout le monde. Aïe aïe.
I mean, have we talked about Storm Surge? I mean,
we haven't yet. I was going to let that be a bridge when we cross it, but
because 91 people left, I mean, how soon is it going to be?
We're going to have Storm Surge in every game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like, this is going to be nuts. If you guys don't know what Storm Surge is, basically the team that has done the least amount of damage is going to start taking damage until they get above the damage threshold.
Yes, and it tells the players on their screen what the damage threshold is. If you're used to playing at home, you probably have never experienced Storm Surge in a normal game, but it is very common in competitive because everyone wants to last until late game, earn those extra points, and wind up getting those placement points to come on through. Watching Letwick and Flexi right now, it's so scrappy, Ninja. It's not your
Il est pas très bien niveau build, lui. 200 de bois, 40 de briques, 300 de métal. Ah, il y a un... Ah, le mec, c'est loin. J'ai cru il se rapprochait.
contested or have talented players who are surrounding you. You got to be constantly worried about getting sniped from the side. All it takes is 2 seconds of being caught off guard, and you can get dinked twice with an immature rifle, and boom, there goes 160 health, man, just like that.
89 players left now in the lobby as Twiz and Cover H, the duo, do get cut down. 45 duos remaining. The second zone has just been revealed, and again, Storm Surge will begin after that. I absolutely think it's going to happen. That will be for 70 plus players. So keep that in mind as this goes on. Players who haven't really done any damage will know that they're going to be at a point where their hand is kind of got to be forced. They're going to have to put on a little bit of aggression. You're going to see the game pick up just a little bit here. There's Snappy and Red Rush already in the next zone. They're more than happy to just farm up this metal structure and claim it as their own.
They're actually very centralized as well.
Yep.
I mean, a really great strategy that you're going to see a lot of people going to be using throughout this weekend in solos and in duos is to just try to get in the dead center of the second zone and honestly just kind of pray that the circle is going to continue to rotate in your favor.
Je me demande si les fers sont toujours vivants, genre Insta, alors
There's not a lot of rotation items. I haven't seen a lot of shockwave grenades. I haven't seen a lot of shadow bombs. I don't see any launch pads in anyone's inventory. It's going to be such a the rotations late game are going to be nuts. People are going to get lasered out of the sky.
And Letwick now all by himself in 1 versus 2, and his teammate did go down. You see Parpy and Volks still quite healthy between the two of them. Over 140 HP for both of them. Parpy still playing the slow ground, trying to spray out the opponent, and look at the material count for Volks. 135 total builds. It does look like Letwick just kind of ran away, but I don't believe Letwick was able to grab his teammates' reboot card, so will basically be by himself the rest of this game.
You know, it's going to be almost impossible to perform alone.
Ah, il y a le Storm Surge, Bon, bref, il y a le truc là que s'ils font pas de dégâts, ils vont perdre des HP.
They are going to need to hit some people, deal some damage, and that's actually the beauty of Storm Surge, right? You don't necessarily only want people kind of just lingering around in their one-by-ones, praying that the circle moves to them. You're gonna see some fights that are gonna be forced to break out because players need to get above that, or they're gonna die. They're not gonna be able to make it.
Now moving towards the Dusty Divot Diner, you see Clicks and Skeptic. Yeah, the very young duo from NA East, and you just said yourself, I didn't even know you could farm this.
I didn't even know you could get down there.
This is the beauty of it, right? These are the top players in the world showing off the little things that they know.
Là, les mecs à deux sticks qui comptent en bas, là, ils se mettent bien parce que les sticks... Il y a... Oh, 4 ZR. Oh, 4 ZR et no absent. Et ceux qui sont en bas, ils sont bien. Genre, ils farment là-bas, ils vont se mettre full break. En plus, là-bas, il y a de fortes chances que la zone reste à 2-6, ça va être pas mal.
That's going to be Serpent and Hype.
Serpent and Hype in a pretty decent spot. You're seeing these guys can look up the minimap that we're staring at. Every single team is now in the safe zone. Everyone is safe in the next circle. It is moving in. And this is double heavy sniper is in play. For those of you guys who do not know, a heavy sniper will take out a metal wall. It'll take out pretty much anything. It does 1,500 damage to structures. So if you have 2 teammates who have double heavy snipers, they can see a team, line up a shot of somebody hiding in a 1-by-1 and be able to take them out.
And that changes the game completely. Once you hear double heavy, you can no longer sit still ever. Or if you know where they're at, you have to make sure you have at least 2 walls of cover on that side to protect you from the inevitable double snipe. And when we say double snipe, it's as far as 1, 2, 3, shoot. And they both fire at the same time and catch you off guard.
There's absolutely 0 time to react. And one thing you guys we've talked about.
Là, il parle du double sniper.
À
quel point c'est cheap. Ouais, canon.
Oh,
dis-moi, Icano, t'as eu la notif du live ou pas?
Storm Surge is now in play, so players beginning to drop. 80 players in total in this game. They will just rotate on out of here. Hype and Serpent don't want the fight, and that's Jay now quite weak.
Ah, 4 ZR noirs qui se fight. Oh, leur adversaire sont lourds. Oh, 4 ZR noirs qui font...
Unfortunate for them, but again, with not enough damage done, they do fall below that threshold.
Jeez, man, Storm Surge really does just force them into some pretty tricky situations, but again, man, it just goes to show a lot of aggressiveness is going to pay off for teams, man. You don't want to be put in that situation where, you know, you have to desperate and push. Maybe a dude hits
oh, Airwax qui est en fight. Non, Airwax est mort. Non, Airwax est mort.
Airwax and Nikov are winners. Well, Airwax at least are back-to-back winner of the Pro-Am. Does go down. Airwax double qualified as well.
Première game in notre choc, Airwax.
As they do go out
J'ai la haine.
early on. 71 players left in this game. 38 duos. Again, it's a slow
Airwax et Nikov, ils ont pas peur. Ils ont eu probablement 0 points cette game. C'est grave.
They didn't really chunk that much, and they were more
Insta
centralized
Hunter.
and getting up competitive. So really, no one had to rotate that much, and no one had to fight. So now that these circles are really just kind of moving around the map, you can't really predict them. I mean, getting these players who have great aim, and they're just beaming people who are focusing on rotating in the circle. Now look, so many people coming from the south right now, and it's just free kills if you guys are in a top position with solid aim, man. You're going to Texture right now, already getting beamed. He's spamming the spacebar, trying to make it as difficult as possible to hit. He sees a lot of, look at already trying to figure out right now, where's he going to land? Look at all these people who are already boxed up. They're already creating these tunnels. More shots coming down. And he's going to be able to make it. 8 grenades. So that's going to be, I mean, if he can get in a position where some players are already getting focused on the outside, 8 grenades, he might be able to clean up those kills too.
Yep, that's right there. They do box up in time. Did take some shield damage, but thankfully they have some minis to replenish that. Just a few brief moments as there's Eclipse now using them. He's got his teammate.
La pioche de marshmallow avec un.
Every little bit of HP matters. Saving the campfire for the late game, it appears. Ronaldo
save the campfire.
In the elimination feed right there. Here's a look at Mongrel earlier with his duo Mitro. They're set up currently in this zone. 68 players left.
Love watching this guy play, man. I'm serious. I mean,
j'espère les prochaines games Airwax et Nikov ils vont s'arrêter comme boulot parce que là ils ont choc.
An SMG, tactical assault rifle, Scar, anything like that. You know, you've got to have a gun that can shoot pretty quickly to kill players and hit players through their one-bys. You know, very difficult. Look at that healing too, though. Yeah. 5 slurps, 2 slurps, 5 chug splashes.
And they already have a slurp ticking. This is insane.
They're super close to the zone as well. They don't have to move too far.
Yep, and material-wise, look at that, 135 total builds.
Ouais, la nouvelle. Leur chaîne de main, elle est noire, elle brille. Ouais, c'est super stylé. Bah, en fait, c'est la première game. Alors, il n'y a eu rien d'intéressant. Là, on va savoir qui a gagné la première game bientôt parce que là, ça arrive dans les endgames. Et là, ça va être nice. J'ai la haine, Airwax, il est mort.
I'm sorry, man. I just can't, man. You guys notice also, Stinks, man, these players are so talented. It's going to be so hard to spray through their walls and actually deal damage to them. So you need things like grenades, like Stinks, right? Little fart bombs is what I like to call them, to force people out of their 1x1s and try to shoot them as they're rotating away and trying to build new 1x1s to dodge the Stinks.
You see the Stinks right now going down on Mongrel.
Badrgoku
immediately ripped in two as it seemed like the lobby began to focus him right there. His duo still alive.
Mongrel est mort et Mitro est toujours là. Ouais, avec un. Le début sur le genre, maintenant, bah alors t'as pas eu de match, je sais.
Spray at players who have to push from the zone. They have one way they can go. They can't afford to take storm damage. They've got to push right out of it. Mitro knows that. Now begins the fire. Dubs just below as well. One of the players who qualified multiple times through solos and then once in duos.
They also have some great rotation. 2 ballers still intact. And here's the thing that you just mentioned, all these players who are going to be rotating in, being forced to rotate in, everyone knows that.
Very little ammo though. Look, these are the last 9 assault rifle shots in Dubs' inventory. It is getting scrappy, folks. And there's the split. Still though, only 80, meaning combined between the two, they really only have about 150 shots to work with.
Non mais là, c'est plus intéressant, Airwax, c'est mort. Avec Nikov. Oh, cher.
Dubs does go down as a player got that back wall and he wasn't quite ready for it. Mega frantically backing on up, trying to create some space.
Là, il va le rêver. Reste en fait. Ok, il a mis des dégâts. Je vais retourner.
His teammate got finished actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. He can get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Les fers sont morts ou... non, il y a juste... J'ai vu juste Airwax et Nikov qui sont morts. Et moi, jeu social le plus héroïque, c'est Nico. C'est... Oh, il y a Miz. Miz est toujours vivant avec des draps. Ok. Là, on a pu voir Miz et des draps, on n'a pas pu voir les autres effets. Pourquoi ils perdent la vie tout seul? Bah, c'est la Storm Charge, parce que genre dans les endgames, quand ils sont genre là, ils sont 50, ils sont endgame, s'ils mettent pas de dégâts, ils prennent des dégâts de zone. Ok, on va mise des draps, Benji, Fishy, Mitro. Ok, on voit des noms qu'on connaît. Non, j'espère encore Kingstar Hunter. C'est bien que vous pouvez.
Epic infantry rifle, one of your favorite weapons, Ninja. What is
Yeah,
so good
yeah, look.
about that assault rifle?
It 100% rewards pinpoint accurate players, right? There's no bloom necessary. Your marker, your aim is right on their head. Boom, you're gonna get that headshot. You're gonna get 80 points of damage. And there's now the upgraded versions, the legendary and the epic, have 10 shots instead of 8. So
Il y a Skate qui est mort dans la barre de feed, on vient de voir ça. Skate qui est mort, c'est dommage. Je pense qu'il est stressé. Première game, je pense que tous les FR ils vont choke parce que genre ils sont pas habitués, sauf Kingstar et Hunter parce qu'ils sont froid de malade. Je pense que les autres, on voit pas mal de monde bien mis qui est encore là. On voit Hunter et Kingstar qui ont Hunter répulsé. Hunter, je le vois, Kingstar, je le vois plus. Ok, je vois Kingstar. Ok, Hunter et Kingstar, il y a un Mitro encore. Il y a Miz. Je vois pas de Teidra. Je vois pas Oslo et Sniper. Ok, lui il est bien avec ses grenades de trucs. Ok, là il se boxe. What? Ok, dans la barre de feed, on voit Benji Fishy qui fait des kills. Stampy qui est toujours là. Stampy qui est tombé par mes cas. Un inconnu dans le bataille. Ça fait moche kill là. Benji est toujours en vie et il va mourir mais Miz qui est toujours là, 7 aussi. Ah non. Je vois pas de Kingstar Hunter, mais il y a beaucoup de monde, frère. C'est normal, je vois pas là. Je sais pas s'ils sont tombés, mais il y a encore Miz. Miz est encore là. Pas. Mais frère, je vois pas Kingstar Hunter. Je stresse. Il y a encore Mitro. Ok, Mr. Savage, c'est lui qui est à la hauteur. Ah, Mr. Savage, c'est bon, il va tout laver. Ah, Benji Fishy, il est toujours en vie. Benji Fishy est toujours en vie. Mr. Savage qui tombe. Il y a encore Benji Fishy, je savais pas. Ok. Vu que je vois pas de Hunter, Kingstar, je pense qu'ils sont morts. Kingstar, Hunter, disparu. Mais encore Miz. Miz qui se fight. Mitro qui est toujours là. Pas. Benji Fishy qui est toujours en vie. Info sur il n'y a plus de Kingstar et tout. Ah, Miz il est mort. Il a fait un bon top. Il y a encore Mitro, Benji Fishy. Et les autres c'est des inconnus.
Was all by himself and very early on, still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zate and Sap close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in.
Benji Fishy qui est mort, ouais, c'est dommage. Ok, encore Mitro. Il y a encore Mitro. Mitro qui se fight, Mitro qui fait kill. Mitro il a fait un kill. Et Mitro il est mort, dommage. Ok, là c'est du 2-1 et GG. Ils ont gagné.
rain fire from above. We're able to make up 5 limbs plus 10 placement points. That's going to be 15 points. Game 1.
Talk about a monster game number 1. You saw the immediate reaction.
Bah, ils sont remontés haut dans le classement, 10 points de top 1. C'est pas mal.
Still like 18 players remaining. When they get the high ground like that, they send one player down to get close. Scarlet was already weak, and there's just no shot. In the end, the veteran players of Zate and Saf take game number 1. And you know, Ninja, that was a big topic of conversation. Players with LAN experience, players who've been around the Fortnite competitive scene at these major events for a long time. Will they let the nerves get to them? Guess what? The answer is no. Zate and Saf take game number 1.
Non bah GG, j'espère que tu peux attendre 40 minutes pour la continuer. Non, c'est genre 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. On va juste interviewer et tout.
Brilliant performance. You know that their game plan is always last as long as possible.
Absolutely.
But the fact that they made it through those storm surges, even with them not getting very aggressive, they had 0 limbs down to those final few moments. Mr. Savage and Benji Fisher, we have to talk about them for a second as well. The European young duo, they were on the high ground. It was looking good, Ninja, but so many players focusing them, the shockwave grenades as well, and they had no hit.
Ninja il joue pas, non, il s'est pas qualifié, il est nul.
A group full of these players who are literally the best in the world. They know exactly how to win, right? So if they don't have the high ground, they know that whenever there is a moment, they can high ground out with rockets, shockwave grenades. I think that's actually what happened. It shockwaved up and knocked them off the high ground.
Yep.
But when you have shield like Zayt and Napdate at the end there, and that high ground, I mean, it's over, man.
What a sigh of relief.
Incredible,
for those two.
Incredible first game, and we're only just getting started.
We're only just getting started. Remember, 6 games being played today in the duos competition, in which $15 million will be rewarded. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, except with solos. So you want to stay glued to the streams here for the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get involved in the conversation. Send a Ninja and I your thoughts after game number 1. Who surprised you? What are you looking forward to in games 2 through 6? For me, other things I noticed, man. You've got to be on your A game when it comes down to taking note of where you are with the storm surge. Those were longer storm surges that have lasted than I've ever seen before.
I've honestly never seen the storm surge affect the game so much.
Yep.
Because here we are having 80 people left after the second circle. So you know what I mean? Like, and these guys, they're not going to let you hit them. You know what I mean?
Ouais,
if you want to put shots on these guys, it's going to be when they're flying in the air, rotating, which you also expose yourself to a sniper shot. You know.
Absolutely.
High risk, high reward, man. Right?
It's
Let's see how these guys change. I wonder if the guys who did get hurt a lot by the storm surge, are they going to make changes in the second game? Are they going to be a little bit more aggressive and trying to deal some damage as they rotate? That's what I want to know.
That's a great way to think of it. I know there were so many people that want to give their thoughts on these games, but over at Unreal Island, we've got our very own Sundown with his thoughts on game 1.
Thank you so much, Courage and Ninja. And the first match of the duos competition is over, and the Victor Royale's experience wins out. We talked about Energy Zate and Ghost Saf and how they've been playing so long together, and that endgame was a prime example of textbook Zate and Saf. We're gonna re-roll it one more time, and we're gonna break down kind of how they were able to keep the control. Now pay attention right away. You can see on the backside, Saf has one angle while Zate is going forward, and they're moving back over the tarps they've already established, but the angles they take make sure they're covering everything. They hear the shots below, they're putting the fire down towards them, and Scarlet is able to pick up Mitro, but doesn't have enough to get out. Zate and Saf, 5 eliminations, Victory Royale, 15 points, showing that their competitive experience, their experience on stage and at major LAN events is winning out right now. They say nerves, what nerves? We might as well be playing at home on our own stations because they are just that good. Match 1 is over. Time to get back over the stage for match 2. Ninja and Courage, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sundown. Great stuff as always there from Unreal Island outside of the venue, enjoying the event themselves. But again, game number 1 in the books. Obviously, so many updates to see exactly where we stack up. In the end, those final moments can be so hectic. So before we hop into game 2, we will have a standings update for you all at home. Who do you think's up top of it right now? Well, guess what?
Ok, ils sont premiers. Oh, il y a des Dramis qui sont 4e. Ok, des Dramis sont 4e, frère. What?
good rotation items.
C'est juste...
Placement points so key. You did a great job going out.
Mangral Mitro 3ème. Ça faisait, ils ont fait au pays, ils sont premiers. 15 points. Dedra et Mise 12 points. Dedra et Mise, c'est les seuls dans le top 10. Les seuls à faire. GG, le duo, genre quand on disait c'était le plus nul des FR, qu'il allait rien faire. Il est dans le top 10, c'était la première game, voilà quoi. Machallah pour eux. Oh témoin, ils vont commencer directement la deuxième game, on va pas attendre 40 ans, mais ça quel plaisir. Pa. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Je l'ai pas dit. Je les connaissais même pas. Moi je les connaissais. Vas-y, deuxième game. Machallah, on n'a pas attendu 40 piges. Allez, Airwalks. It's your moment. Go, Airwalks. Vive Airwalks. Ok. Ouais, y a personne vers Pleasant Eton. Ah non, c'est bon, ça part bien.
Very far away.
I mean, you just the one thing I tell, I was telling my teammate Malachi, I was like, listen, man, sometimes you just actually have to tell yourself.
Imagine il meurt de dégâts de chute là. Il a juste une arme de merde. Oh la main. Sortez. Tiens, regarde. On regarde en haut à gauche les kills. J'espère juste ceux qui ont fait au pain là. C'est les plus dangereux. Faut qu'ils perdent pas. Faut qu'ils perdent. Inch'Allah ils perdent. Faut leur porter la haine.
Explain a little bit of staying on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, all you have to do is just continue that jump animation. That's going to trigger the double jump. And as long as you don't
Ils sont séparés en plus, ils respectent rien. Ok, Miss des draps qui spawn lequel on jing. Ils ont juste une team ennemie. Faut qu'ils les déglinguent et puis machallah pour Raya et des draps si.
The zone right now basically gets cut off at Dusty Divot and Neo Tilted, and the rest of the north side of the map are in play. So everyone near the middle and south side will have to move, and you see in the elimination feed very early on, Elevate does get cut down. So a tough start for the duo for 100 Thieves right there, as you've got to wonder
ok, là ils vont push. Nice. Il a une Thompson plus... Ah non, il part pas. Ouais. Du coup, il va vers Mise. Ça se fight seul, hein. Vers le bloc. Et qui est dans le bloc. Aucun FR. Ah non, c'est pas dans le bloc, c'est Snoopy. Putain. Il s'est pris une balle d'ailleurs. Mais ils sont en plein fight, le fight de leur vie. Ils peuvent gagner 3 millions de dollars grâce à ce fight. Aïe aïe, il a zéro matériel. Il va tenter de revive. Ok, ça les push. C'est bon, ça. What? Oh! What? Il a fait le double kill. Il a fait le double kill. Oh, le monstre. Le monstre. Ok, j'ai self-made de Aiden, je pense. Oh, il a mis, il s'est pris une bonne petite balle là. Il se fait laser de part.
up against two.
Running out of
Ok,
materials
il
already,
a
and guess
3.
what? These guys are at the farthest point of the storm.
Yep.
So this is not, they can't afford this fight. Right? The
Ça
longer
prend
it
des
takes,
deux
they're not gonna be
côtés.
able to get
Ça a pris legit le joueur, ça se voit, c'est pas un amateur. Ok, il s'est pris une balle, il a mis une balle. Oh là là, il a mis KO, man. GG. Il termine. Ouais. Ah, c'est pas le mec de Eden.
Punisher trying to make some plays here. Still now it is a 2-on-1 situation. Just need to play the numbers advantage. And again, Storm is about to start moving, so they're gonna have to make some plays sooner rather than later.
No ammunition.
Finisher. Lui aussi, c'est un FR. C'est un FR finisher. Mais ah, bah cher. C'est un FR.
In the player camera right there, slacks and keys, 2 quick eliminations. But you mentioned they can't afford to do that. It takes so much time in that fight. They gotta go very far still. Now over to Neo Tilted, Clicks and Skeptic in a fight.
Got some shield. Doesn't necessarily want to use this mini to only get a 10. And he's looking to trying to obfuscate small.
Qui est con qui spawn à Tilted pure vie de la saison 9. Ouais. Oh, non, il a tué Bat Sniper. Non, nique ta grand-mère la chaîne, fils de pute. Vas-y, Oslo, carry s'il te plaît. Enculé de tes morts. D'où tu tues Bat Sniper? Ça chaîne. Des Vitality qui perdent pas assez. Ok. Ah merde, j'ai cru que c'était Oslo. Vas-y Oslo. Oh non, Oslo il s'est fait buter par Mitro.
Did he just take the L in real life? Homie, this is land. This dude's gonna come over. No, I'm just kidding. 40, but the Stinks come on in.
Stinks coming in 22 health on campfire down. He has.
Oh, and look who's here.
Oslo qui s'est fait punir par Mitro et là mon granny Mitro qui push. Ceux qui ont buté Oslo, pas de Sniper plutôt. Ok. Frère, ils sont venus, ils ont tout cassé.
Wow, incredible. Let's look at that kid. Gold scar, gold combat, heavy shotgun, or I'm sorry, heavy sniper rifle for taking opponents' walls.
Vas-y.
Look at, they're just stealing a bumper.
Putain, il leur hagar, miskin.
And there's no shot right there. Skeptic. You saw, hey, putting on a show. I love it. The man does YouTube for a reason. But then also a fantastic player.
Ok, Eden qui met. Ouh. Il a mis une sale balle et il s'est pris une sale balle. Et t'as mis son pied. Ah oui, elle monte sur ce problème. Bon, moi je retourne le terrain. Là, il est dit première balle, deuxième balle, dans le blanc. Il spam. Il a fui.
They're both one hit. Look at that trap. They're going for it. They're saying, you know, you would have thrown the trap down by now. There it is. And look at the take from Aiden. The jump out to the side. And they'll be rewarded with shields, with materials. And look, Aiden actually, there was 2 big shields. Yeah. Aiden's got the full health.
That's incredible, man.
Seeing the stats so far this game, Aiden has done 434 damage, has taken 312, and he's near backup to max health. I know Aiden is a crowd favorite here. Every time the camera goes on, there's a big cheer from this sold-out arena.
For those of you guys who do not know, the Storm Circle is about to update right now. We just saw our second one, forcing everyone out of the north and east side of the map. And
oh, je savais pas ces bâtiments c'était aussi détruit. Ok. Il y a un petit fight. Aiden et son mate contre deux gens random. Moi j'ai Herox. J'ai envie que Herox gagne la Coupe du Monde dans mon jeu.
And what's kind of funny with this zone, as you see it on the bottom right side of your map, the slipstreams are there to basically help everyone get from the southeast, east, and south side of the map easily into this zone.
Ok, c'est la deuxième zone, il reste 1 minute pour la troisième zone. Là. Et là, on va bien se mordre les doigts pour la troisième zone. Inch'Allah, il y aura Herox. Herox, il va buter Mitro et Mongral, puis il va dessus sur Benji Fishy. Tac, Kinstar, c'est de l'eau. Ouh, il se fait laser. Il a oublié que c'était des joueurs pro. Hein. C'est pas des petits noobs qui ont pas de shoot. Hein.
Chug splashes have came into this game and they've completely taken competitive by storm. Are they the best healing item currently in this meta?
I think that, you know, there's a lot of items that get added.
Là, il va se mettre
Not everyone is
bien.
all unanimous about it, right? Some people do not like it, but let me tell you
Il
something
est
about
pas mal niveau
I don't
build.
think I've ever seen more
En mise des draps toujours vivants. Qu'est-ce qu'ils sont forts ces
from an
mecs.
item being added than when chug splashes were added. I mean, nothing but positivity on Twitter. It was absolutely incredible. I woke up to some delightful posts. Delightful, just some delightful posts. Those of you guys who don't know what they are, each one splash, they come in packs of 2. You can stack up to 6.
Mitro Mangral la prison.
Whatever you're missing.
And they're instant. You throw them down to the ground, and they can be used to heal you and your teammates around you, as well as, if you really want to be a troll, your enemies that you've knocked. Here are Mongrel and Mitro in the zone, and you talked about this inventory. I'm going to come out and say it right now. There is no way someone in this lobby has a better inventory than what Mongrel has
Ok,
right
attends,
now. And when you come into this, they were
4
already
ZDR
in your
qui
top
tombe.
3. So they're in a position right now, Ninja, where they have a pop-off performance right here. With only 6 games being played after the first 2, they could be your leaders.
Absolutely. I mean, they were only 2 points away from first, man, and they didn't even win the game. And Mongrel went down early before placing points for
Et là, Mitro il se met.
Another fight with Quentin and his squad.
Ok, et donner 100 mètres. Ils sont en
And he's
fight.
out of light ammo.
Materials.
And he's out of materials. So he can't even spray right
Il a
now.
plus de matériel. Oh,
Spray
il a
they
plus
are,
de
and
build
that's not
ici.
really gonna be effective against top players that are actually trying to take walls.
Well, the player trying to trap down low to bait Aiden, but Aiden does not fall for it. This seasoned veteran trying to cover his back. Players beginning to spray on through. Stink bombs dropping, and there's one of limb. Another shot comes in.
Gets his shield. That's why he went for the thirst.
Yep.
And grabbed the mats. 365 mats now. He is, or more than that. He's got.
Get out of the stinks. They've got to get out of the stinks.
So weak 2.
Look at how weak they are.
And don't they can get both Sean and Aiden. They got. I think that's exactly what they should. They split up. Now he's trying to take them one by one. Get pushed by more than one person.
Quick reaction from Aiden, but this looks like it could spell disaster for the duo. Damage dealt 639. He does go down, though the quick edit comes
Making
through.
plays. Now it's up to Sean. Can he clutch it? Only 2 HP. Got some minis. Picked up some ammunition now for his minigun. But looks like Spades is just way more healthy. And obviously there's 3 other players who are around him as well. So what's he going to do? Looks like he's going for high ground. Smart play, but he's out of mats.
Oh, no, he does. He's got wood. He's good. Yeah, we both freaked out.
Going to put himself in a nice pyramid. For those of you guys who don't know what a brick or a metal pyramid.
Big thing to know. Look at his zone. He has to push. That's it. He has to push. He has 52 health, but the zone is right at his back. He's got to go. Don't even worry about Storm Surge. They're 400.
Ok, il se fait laser, il a plus d'HP. Ah bah oui. Allez, prêt.
Any competitive game is being weak, low materials, low health, and being forced to push in.
Every time you watch Aiden, and whoever he's playing with, they are always the most aggressive, it appears.
Yes.
If you remember the famous moment, I think for me, arguably one of the most famous moments in Fortnite competitive history was the Nick Merckx and Aiden duo, where they made it into the big bonus about a year ago.
Oh my God.
And a crowd popped off. Well, they're always scrappy getting into eliminations. Here, the stat popped up for a second. Aiden and Sean had done 680 damage
Okay,
in the
on
game.
est
The average in the lobby was 80. They were 600 above in this lobby already. Unfortunately, though, when you fight that much, there's a higher chance of you going down. Speaking of potential fights, here's Sizzlucky and Brush, who we saw earlier on in the last game at Fatal Fields, struggle to stay alive. Now in another tough spot as they're both low on shields and low on health.
Ok, Mitro Mangral toujours à prison, ça bouge pas.
You guys have launch pads. One shadow. One shadow can get you into another zone. Right? It's gonna hopefully get you those placement points that you need, or even put you in a position to get some elimination.
Wesh, voilà, on dirait Michou.
Yeah, as you said with Aiden, we mentioned earlier, are people going to change how they're going to play, right? Are they going to do anything different here at the World Cup? And guess what? I'm pretty sure we can say that Aiden's squad is not doing anything different. They're being incredibly aggressive. They're putting the damage down. And unfortunately, there were just too many players who took advantage, but they were weak.
And that was the top 5 leading into this game. You see it updated again.
Ok, là c'est la endgame qui arrive.
Where the leaderboard is at the moment. Mitro and Mongrel staying alive, holding this pyramid edit. And for people at home who might not know, he's not exposed right there, right, Ninja? He's peeking.
Watch, il y a les feuilles. Ah ouais, c'est vrai, les feuilles de cuisine, c'est fait.
You cannot be seen, right? And you can also see through it. It's a very amazing feature. Fortnite.
Il a touché 0 balles, Mitro.
Ultimate Battle Royale experience, man. Blue T is in the storm, taking damage, a lot of damage, and he's still going to be rotating. Rogue taking damage.
Là, ça me fait peur, on n'a pas vu Derwox Nikov.
And there goes Rogue, he actually just got knocked. 66 players remain. And this storm is kind of moving a little bit away from Pleasant Park, but it's once you have a high ground mountain in play, I mean, I'm wondering if it's going to go north.
There's 3 high ground mountains in play, and
really mixes it up late game.
A drone ship.
Ah, je vois plus de FR là.
Those are brilliant to use.
Oh, absolutely. If you guys can get up on top of those, guess what? You have ultimate high ground on the map without having to place any mats.
Yep.
It's incredible. You can't get sniped from above, and you can deal with much damage as well. Also, incredibly difficult to shoot players that are up there.
100%.
But it's important to know that after the 5th circle closes in, those air vents will stop working. So if you don't have any rotation to get down, glide or redeploy, anything like that, yikes. That's a massive yikes. So you have to pray that someone puts a launch pad down underneath it somehow.
Yep.
And go for it.
Yeah,
just risk it all.
Most of these teams will mess that up. Now, we talked about our Game 1 winners, the team that took home the Victory Royale, which is, again, 10 placement points, the max you can get for placement in these games. It was Zate and Saf, and they're currently set on up in this zone for the moment.
Did they just get the zone as well? Are they the yellow team in the mini-map? I mean, they're close enough for sure. I can see. I think, no, actually, no, they got to rotate a little bit, but look, they got 4 shockwave grenades.
Yep. And they'll be all right. They'll be able to make it happen.
Ouh, il y a Airwalk-Nikov. Oh, machallah. Allez, Airwalk-Nikov. Allez. Attention.
Watch them fight a little bit earlier on against Landjock and Punisher.
Heals to his teammate comes in.
Yep.
No, he missed one.
He did miss it. No, teammate's full. Teammate's full.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Geez.
Teammate's full.
You know, I was playing with Myth the other day, and he was using a lot of chug splashes without me, so, you know, I'm really sensitive on it.
We'll let you and Myth handle that one. As, again, it seems like some tension there, but we continue to move on in this fight. This is game 2 of 6, folks. The matches will be going on throughout the day. 62 players left in this one, 35 duos. And you see Arkram and Falconer. It looks like they did a duo shockwave.
Ok, là, ça arrive la end zone.
Good teamwork. As the frantic rotation begins to move on in, more Storm Surge will soon begin to come into play as well.
Jack, I have a question for you, man.
Yes.
Once these circles start closing in so small, what do you think is the play? To rotate in right away once it's revealed if you're far out, or to wait and be the last team?
For me, it completely comes down to
Oh, Vatoska est toujours là aussi, ça bouge pas. Manque plus qu'à voir Hunter Star. 4GD est mort, je pense Noward aussi. Mise et Dédra, je pense qu'ils sont toujours en vie. Et là, il manque plus qu'Instar Hunter. Airwalk-Nikov, voilà.
I think you play late and hope someone else drops a launch pad near you and use that community pad to your advantage.
Ok, là, mon petit sniper lourd, lui. Kinstar qui tombe. Kinstar qui vient de tomber. Non. C'est dommage.
When KBB did go down, so they're still in this one because
he has that beautiful blue combat where he clutched it with, man.
Yes, he does, and all the materials he could ever ask for it. Nearly 100 builds in this one.
You see they're marking right now. I think they have a double heavy cyber combo.
They're either marking double heavy or they're saying.
Ah, Kinstar qui s'est fait finir. Il était juste là-haut, là, il s'est fait finir. Oh non. Du coup, ça veut dire que Hunter qui est toujours en vie. Non, Airwalk qui est tombé. Non. Airwalk qui est tombé. Non, non, non. Ouais, franchement, ils font de la merde là, ça rend fou. Il y a Nikov qui est toujours en vie, mais Inch'Allah, Nikov fait quelque chose. Vas-y, Nikov. Non, franchement, ils foutent la haine. Ils font que de la merde. J'ai que des Draimis qui jouent bien. Ah, c'est Nikov qui est mort. Ah, ok. C'est bourreux. Ok, là on voit donc ici, on voit pas de Nikov. Je veux pas que Nikov et Hunter meurent là. Je suis surtout pas qu'il meure. Ah mais attends, c'est pas Airwalk qui est mort. Oh, Airwalk a été réanimé, ok nice. Airwalk a été réanimé. Allez, cher Mitro. Mitro et Mangral, canné. Comme ça, il n'y aura plus de concurrence pour Airwalk et Nikov. Vas-y, Airwalk. Vas-y, Nikov. Allez-y, les mecs. Vous pouvez faire. Il a un mini bien, le bâtard.
They're just trying to get as many limbs possible as people are rotating in.
Mitro on the bottom right of your screen with that minigun has 631 bullets to spray
Et
down.
putain, mettez plein écran, on voit pas les kills là.
Didn't get the clutch, someone else stole the kill from him.
Vous avez intérêt que Nico fait votre smartphone.
Still have a launch pad, but again, when you're in a situation like this, low ground, they're getting sprayed.
Charge. Mitro et Mongral qui sont tombés. Airwax qui est tombé, Nikov aussi. Ah non, Nikov qui est toujours là. Nikov toujours là. Airwax qui va se faire encore réanimer. Nikov qui carré Airwax. Merde, non. Oh, je suis le plus gros des fils de pute. Oh, non, j'ai appuyé en trop. Vas-y, fais vite. Vas-y, vite. Non. Ah, c'est bon. Ok, mon Graal, Nitro sont morts. Airwax, 41 jours. Par contre, là, Airwax, il choque, hein, il fait que mourir. Non, ils sont toujours en vie, ces fils de pute. Ils ont fait top 1 première game. Je veux pas qu'il gagne la Coupe du Monde. Nikov qui a été mis à terre. Oh, Noward qui vient de mourir. Mr Savage qui est mort. Airwax qui est peut-être toujours en vie, mais Nikov il est soit KO soit mort. Non, par contre, eux ils jouent trop bien, ces fils de pute. Je veux pas qu'ils gagnent. Ok, là il y a beaucoup de monde. Je peux voir plus d'Airwax et Nikov et tous les faire. Airwax, je pense qu'il est mort. Non, franchement, je pense qu'ils sont morts, Airwax et Nikov. Mr Hunter, je pense aussi. Je vois plus de FR là. Oh, Stampy est toujours vivant, ce bâtard. Non, par contre, s'ils font un deuxième top 1, ces fils de pute, franchement, c'est bon, ils vont gagner la Coupe du Monde là. Ils leur la donnent exactement. Ok, il a bientôt plus de bulles. Ok, officiellement il y a plus de FR.
Since the first moment of this game when Elevate went down at 98 players remaining and he's somehow still alive. There goes Mega. You've got Darox and Item on the low ground. Vorwin getting chopped down as well. Zate with about 100 HP. Uh-oh. Here comes Vinny and Zexro. They're trying to challenge for the high ground.
Keys right now being held in the storm with 5 limbs. He's going to be eliminated from the back.
Watch, il a bugué. Shah, il a bugué.
Looking good, and they're going to take it. They just took high ground. Snappy gave it to him. And they just got the high ground. Great use of the shockwave as well. Finny as well as Zexro on hype for the moment. 5 eliminations so far. They're putting their names in the hat for potential victory royale in this game.
Go down, right? They want those limbs.
Forward now with eliminations back to back. 4 players left in this one. Zexro and Vinny spraying from the high ground. It's a 2 versus 1. The player right on the edge of the zone. The shockwave into the air. And he's going to drop on down to hype for the moment. The spray coming on in. It's not
Et ils font top 1. Nice.
Zexro and Vinny.
TSM takes game 2 with style. Both alive. You love to see it.
The victory royale and 7 eliminations.
Look at that.
And Zexro looks like he was stunned. Got his fries on a fast food order. Why am I thinking about food?
Oh my, you know, Jack, it's pretty expected at this point. But God, 2 NA teams have taken game 1 and game 2, and honestly, I think that we can all say that the teams hyped up the most have been even. Guess what? Mongrel and Mitro, man, they've also been performing well. They still have so many points from eliminations.
Yep.
Oh man, what a great shotgun shot. They were perfectly in sync. They're even jumping and shotgunning at the same time.
Vinny pop-off, man. You love the pop-off. So hyped. Zexro's about to start cranking 90s or default dancing in the lobby.
Like he's trying to talk about literally what are they going to do in the next game. Yeah. Like that's what that focus is. That reminds me, I've been in this situation before. He grabbed his hand and shook it for himself, man. That's a top teammate, man. Great synergy.
What a start to today's competition. The energy in here is insane. I am looking around and there are thousands and thousands of people filling up the Arthur Ashe Stadium live from New York City. Again, my name Jack Courage Dunlop, joined by Tyler Ninja Blevins for what is the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. $30 million on the line this weekend. Millions will be tuning on in from across the world. There's so many ways to watch, and we're just 1/3 of the way done with today's action, and it's already been fantastic.
Don't even want it to end, man. I could be here all night. These games are incredible. Yep. And just listen, if you guys are watching at home, you guys want to be here, right? You guys want to be competing. Take notes. Yeah. Watch these players. Watch how they build. Watch the fights that they take, the way they rotate. And we'll see you guys here next year, man.
Guess what? Game number 2 ended with style with the North American duo of Vinny and Zexro taking it there on the floor with none other than Jordan Fisher.
Thank you so much, Courage. I appreciate that. NA showing up and taking care of business. Games 1 and 2. Vinny and Zexro with a fantastic end, both together, which is an incredible thing, right? Walk me through the just in-game for you guys.
So the comp's kind of hectic because of all the noise, but we're just really good at playing together. Like, we're the longest duo that have played together, so yeah, we just know how to.
Great, fantastic work, guys. Back to you, Ninja and Courage. JD.
Thank you so much, Jordan. The duo of Vinny and Zexro. You know, they've always been known as being so aggressive. Yeah. From all the times we've seen them in these competitive tournaments. While they might be some younger players, they've definitely been around the block here in competitive Fortnite.
Again, you just see them, just like a lot of other talent here, always at the top of the duo qualifiers every single week. Even though they already qualified, they continue to keep playing, and practicing. Guess what? They just took the game number 2. You got to be pumped right now, man. Once you win one of these games, you can't let up, though. Again, and that's why I love that energy. Zex was immediately just, I felt like he was just talking about, what are we going to do next? Hey, man, good job. We won that. Let's do it again. Yeah. Right? How are we going to change? Maybe even do better somehow. Get more limbs in game 3.
No, for sure. And they know that. They're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. Folks, we have our standings after game number 2. Where are things playing on out? It is still Zay and Sap
aucun
at the
FR dans le
top.
top 10.
Dubs and Mega at 18 points in second. Zexro and Vinny with that performance go from 0 points up to 17, Ninja. And that is the beauty of how this plays on out. Anyone can have a pop-off game and come right back. Mongrel and Mitro still in your top 5, as well as Serpent Hype, Darox, Item, Forwin and Tux, Snappy and Red Rush all there. While Zay and Sap do have a nice little lead right now, nobody is safe from the rest of this lobby. I'll tell you that.
I mean, just take a look at the points, Courage. You got 11 points, right? Benji and Mr. Savage, they fell out of the top 10.
Il y a juste une team FR dans le top 20. C'est grave, c'est grave.
12 points. All they need is 2 or 3 points, 2 or 3 extra eliminations right there, and boom, they'll move up 6 places. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's still anyone's game, all right? 2 pop-off games, 1 pop-off game, boom, you're already in the top 5.
Remember, if you get 50th place or 11th place, from that whole time in between, you win $100,000 as a duo.
Still.
But if you go from 10th up to 1st, it jumps all the way to $3 million. So everyone, eyes on that top prize. We are just 1/3 of the way through the action today, but I know we've had a lot of fun up here, Ninja. What an absolute blast. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give a round of applause to Ninja for hopping in for some guest casting? What a great job.
Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Pleasure to be here.
That's going to do it for us for now up here on the caster desk, but I know Zeke is down on the floor with some notes for you all.
Thank you guys so much, man. What an awesome first 2 set of games from Sap and Zay locking down the lobby to Zexro and Vinny just coming in super clutch. And of course, guys, you've been here. We got to see Ninja. He got to go ahead and commentate some games. So what I want to know from you is, have you guys had a good time? Have you enjoyed it? If so, let's just let me hear you. You know, that was so-so. Let's pretend I didn't ask. Have you guys been
Faites du bruit tellement c'était claqué au sol.
That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, we've got quite a bit more games left to get through, but you know, if you've been watching for a long time, you know I'm a big fan of everyone that loves Fortnite. It's all about bringing people together.
Mais nique ta grand-mère, elle lance là, c'est le match 3 là.
That's what I do. And you know, there's actually a lot of people from around the world that have come here to compete, to watch, to be part of all of this. And I thought, what better way to give back to you guys than to teach you how to say Fortnite from all around the world. So in just a moment, we're going to take a look at the video, and I can't wait because this is actually the first time I'm seeing this. A lot of work went into making this happen. So I can't wait for us to watch this together. Let's take a look.
Hello Fortnite fam.
RTS
여러분들 안녕하세요. Привет, Fortnite TV야. Jag har till det studio. Vad kör Fortnite folk? Jag är fan du Fortnite.
Wow.
What's up Fortnite fam? Fortnite fan 여러분들. 안녕하세요. What's up Fortnite fam? Hey, 저는 Fortnite fan.
What's up, Fortnite fam?
Was geht, Fortnite-Freunde? 关注等着我们。What's up, Fortnite fam?
Yo, what's up, Fortnite fam?
Are you trying to do the floss?
Sorry, I'm texting.
What's up, Fortnite fam? What's up, Fortnite fam? What's up, Fortnite fam? What's up, Fortnite fam? E aí, galera do Fortnite?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
Le gamin.
G'day, Fortnite fam.
Bonjour, comment ça va les fans de Fortnite?
G'day, Fortnite fam.
Et frère, ils sont même pas dans le top 20, mine, j'ai la haine. Le seul duo FR qui est dans le top 20, c'est Dedra et Miz. J'ai la haine, frère.
That was even better than I thought it would be. Just embrace it. We, as a collective, are the Fortnite fam. Get used to it. We're here to stay. Now, guys, you know, there's a few more things I want to take a look at before we hop back into the next game. One of the things to kind of do if you're here or if you're at home, you've been watching, Ninja actually had a pretty dope hoodie, a World Cup kind of exclusive hoodie. Would you like one of those things? Would you like one of the crazy World Cup shirts that we have? You can totally get your hands on one. Head on over, retailroad.com. Get yourself a nice shirt. We got some hoodies. We've got hats. We've even got the little drone that's the battle bus. It looks amazing. The top balloon is actually the drone. So you've got the bus that's literally flying around. You best believe I'm going to pick one up and mess around with my family. They're not ready for it. But there you go. There's some on your screen. Also, that drift shirt, by far, my favorite piece of merchandise ever.
Arrêtez de me demander cette question. Quand il y aura le tournoi, je vais faire une vidéo pour les participations. Rendez pas compte.
If you're looking to get some World Cup exclusive thing, go ahead and take a look. Now, for those of you who have also been watching kind of all 10-week qualifiers long, you know we love Golden Boy. And there's actually one thing specifically he was kind of telling people as we were going through interviews. And that was, hey, when we get to New York, you're going to be in my hometown. Let's catch up and get a slice of pizza. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, Zeke, what about like everyone else? Why is it just Golden Boy? Well, he's a Golden Boy and he's selfish and he wanted the pizza all for himself. Get called out. That's right. Now the world knows. But a few of those players actually took us up on the offer. They went out for some pizza. They had a night on the town. So let's take a look together and check this out.
New York City. We got the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, the Empire State Building, and the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. My hometown to duke it out. But before the action started, I took World Cup qualifying players Aiden and Chinkin out to show them the Big Apple, starting with PC Gaming Cafe, Waypoint.
What's up, boys? Hey. Welcome to Waypoint. Good to see you. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. All right, fellas, let's go and grab a drink.
Let's go.
All right. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here in my hometown, New York City. Thoughts on it so far? Chinkin, we'll start with you.
Hot,
okay.
a lot of people.
Yeah, hot and a lot of people. I'm sorry, but also welcome to New York. That's kind of the way it is out here. Where are you from in Austria?
Austria, like I'm near Salzburg.
And the population?
40K.
I think it was like 40,000 people in the train that you were in on the way here.
Probably.
Yeah, so,
so many people.
Now I want to talk about the competition at hand because obviously this is going to be the biggest opportunity, I would imagine, of your lives. You're going to be playing in front of a massive crowd. Is there a way, as a player, that you prepare for that?
I don't think like there's a way to like prepare for it.
Yeah.
But try to like calm down, not get like nervous, not get shaky and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we should be good. Like.
It's still crazy having like a live crowd.
Yeah.
I try not to take tournaments like too seriously. If I play relaxed, I feel like I do better. I remember when everyone's like, this guy looks like he's just chilling on his couch at home, the casters, and it was like, I was just relaxed, you know, and
Yeah.
just I feel like I played better.
Okay, so gentlemen, we're going to be heading off to some different sites around the city. We're going to go to Washington Square Park, so let's go and check it out.
La rue de Triomphe, oui, je vois là.
All right, so now here we are in Washington Square Park, gentlemen. And I love the fact that we've conveniently set this up. I don't know what these pieces would symbolize.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. Is it like king or queen? While we have this here, let's talk about competition. You guys are potentially going to be facing off against each other. Have you thought about that now?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the L2 spam like.
Oh, you don't want to feel the L2 spam?
I've watched them play a little bit. Him and Stompy, they're very like, I've seen them play aggro before. It's pretty scary. So if you have chemistry where you can play without even talking, you guys know what you're gonna do. That's like, a team like that's gonna win. So
what you guys are going to experience this weekend, this is the first Fortnite World Cup. You're going to be playing for millions of dollars potentially. Has that even set with you guys yet?
Even if it's not me, I'm thinking there's going to be millionaires after this tournament.
Yeah.
There's going to be millionaires.
Life-changing money.
I try not to be, I'm not like greedy about it or anything. It's really nice to see like people that nobody know about and just blow up off of this.
All right, I'm going to dive more into that, but I think it's time to get a slice of pizza. Take you out for a good pizza. We'll get some pizza. To give everyone pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna show up with 2 giant boxes of pizza. Say I won't, Paula. Say I won't. And I kept telling people, hey, I want to get a slice of pizza with you. You know, all the players, and they all ignored me. You know. So thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Obviously, this has been an incredible journey for you all. You're now on the precipice of one of the biggest events in the history of all competitive gaming.
I'm happy that it was a fair chance for everybody, you know, open qualifiers.
Yeah.
You could have no exposure, but if you're good, you get in the tournament. So yeah, I'm just really thankful to be here, and I'm going to enjoy my time here.
Yeah, and we just try to like make our fans happy. I'm really looking forward to play on stage in front of 100,000 people.
Do you feel like the fans and how they've been supporting
Bon,
you all
on se fait un petit peu. Hein.
do you feel like that adds a little bit to this pressure?
Honestly, it's just more support for me. I feel more like happy to be here when there's all these people, whether they're rooting for me or other players. Fortnite's grown so much, and I just can't wait to see all like the crowd, and I know it's gonna get bigger and bigger every event. So,
Fellas, best of luck at the Fortnite World Cup this weekend. Seriously, nothing but the best for you. But we're in the thick of things here in New York, so I think we got to get some more pizza. You guys down? All right, let's do it. New York's got everything, and this weekend, most importantly, it's got the Fortnite World Cup. Now that these two have had their slice, let's see how they handle the competition.
Good guy,
Ouais,
golden
il va
boy.
falloir en
You
fait
gotta love
commencer
him.
là.
You can't not. He's just the best, and it's really cool that he got to go out, hang out with Aiden, get some pizza, and just tour New York. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now, guys, there is actually a dynamic duo that we want to talk to. We actually have Jordan Fisher standing by. He's going to be chatting with Nix and PF Zin. These guys qualified back from the Brazilian region. They've got some things to say. So, Jordan, let's go over to you.
Thank you, my friend. I've got Nix and PF Zin here. Nix, you have been absolutely dominating in the last few weeks, especially where the solos and the duos are concerned, being the first Brazilian player to qualify for the World Cup. Can you talk to me a little bit about the dynamic that the two of you share as partners?
Nix, você estava dominando nas últimas semanas, principalmente para os qualifiers da World Cup. Você pode falar um pouco sobre a dinâmica de vocês?
Eu e o PFzinho costuma jogar bem agressivo e tentar pegar o máximo de eliminações possível.
PFZ and I, we try to play as aggressively as possible and get as many eliminations as we can.
As you should in the name of Battle Royale, right? Now, PFZ,
Très
you seem
intéressant,
to
dis-moi.
balance out the fiery kind of loose cannon nature of Nyx, who is obviously a dominant player, you know, kind of helping him set up for a solid end game. What's it been like to work with such a young and fiery player like Nyx?
PFZ, você parece que você consegue contrabalançar o estilo bem incendiante do Nyx. Então, como é que é isso para você fazer esse lado mais balanceado da dupla?
Basicamente eu tenho uma role de suporte, então eu meio que fico nas backlines e ele vai na frente. Quando a gente tem o high ground, por exemplo, ele tem a função de ficar embaixo matando todo mundo e eu controlando o high ground. Basicamente é um lado mais estratégico, enquanto ele é o lado mais agressivo.
Basically, I have more of a support role. Whenever we're in high ground, I'm just more in the background, supporting him. Like he has a more aggressive role.
Setting him up.
Yeah.
To fire the loose cannon at the end. It reminds me of the very W key in a West that I play on all the time, and that has really, you know, just got me cranking my 90s on a regular basis. You know about that courage, right? Am I right? Back to you.
Whoa. Jordan, it's back to me. Come on, courage. He's just found the chicken parmesan. Someone whispered the word and he went running. You hate to see it. Also, big shout out to Nyx and PFZ. I actually chatted with Nyx very quickly. He walked up and was like, "Hi, I'm Nyx," and I'm thinking this guy knows how to talk. So I talked a bunch of stuff, told him much I loved him. Turns out he didn't understand any of it. So I had to get a translator and tell him that I love him. But that's how things go. Now, of course, guys, I know what you want. You want more games. We have 4 more on deck. So I think for now, we're going to send it back up to Golden Boy and Monster. They're going to get us into these games. So how's CJ Mike Realm? Play us in.
Huge shout out to DJ Mike Realm, spinning the 1s and 2s here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Golden Boy alongside Master D-Face, Boricua Boys back at it again, looking to bring you the fun
Ninja
as we
tomba,
have games
Ninja
3 and 4
courage.
on deck. And so far, this has been one of the most exciting events I've ever been to. That game 1 was ridiculous. Game 2 did not disappoint as well, Monster.
No, it didn't. I thought for a second there we're going to see back-to-back performances from Zay and Sap. And I mean, we honestly did. Everyone that was in the top 10 contestant, even Miz and Deidre, they were performing. We saw them cut it all the way through. And it's that level of consistency that's going to cut the difference in making it all the way through the top 10 and being a World Cup winner.
What I've loved seeing is that standings page, top 10. International through and through. You got the Japanese players popping off, European players popping off, players from New Zealand. Everyone's putting in every little bit they can. But folks, it's now time for game number 3. The players are all loaded up in the battle bus, and we are about to take off. Let's see who's going to get that much closer to raising the trophy and being your Fortnite World Champions of Duos. Here we go.
Keep it going, Golden Boy, because we are jumping into game 3 as these cameras populate. Your favorite competitors are here. They've made it this far. It's the duo competition. If you were nervous before, hopefully they kicked the bucket over this little break here, and they're back, and they're recuperating.
I know I practically kicked the bucket after Vinny and Zetro won game 2, man. I was feeling it, man. It was nuts. And there they are on your screen. So the drop for the bus here, it's going to be a north to south one going right over that ice biome. It's going to cut pretty much center of the map there. And Vinny and Zextro, I'm very happy that they're performing this well, Monster. This is a duo that had so much success. Even going into the World Cup qualifiers, we all were like, yeah, this is a duo that definitely should make it. This is a duo that, hey, they could even win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then tragedy struck, and Zextro had a few problems with you know, arthritis and different things with his hands. And I'm make sure I'm getting that right. And I'm just bummed out about that. Good to see them here showing up, man. That's huge.
I mean, that's what you expect of our competitive veterans, specifically Zexro, Vinny. They go back to as many of the LAN tournaments that we've seen, as does Zay and Sap. But anyways, look, in here we have UN KBB. He's going to take down Mexi. Is Scram close by? Is he close enough? And this is a battle going down in Snobby Shores. So off the rip here, we have players getting dropped. That's actually going to be our first elimination. Lucky for us to catch that one, but there's shots coming in from the Viking Island right up above, and he just kind of turns a corner, sweeps him up, catches that full elim there. So that's his now. We got a little toe-to-toe action here, Golden Boy.
Very rough situation to be in here, but Zexro now looking to engage in this one. Potentially here is going to have... We're going to go over to his POV now. Kind of get, it's a little wild, man. It's like just getting the bearings all together here, I think, for the players as well. That moment where they can just have that conversation. What are they going to do? How are they going to just implement their strategy going into the next game? What is that strategy going to be? Do you mix it up? Do you change your drop spots? These are things that are going to be so important for these players. The time that they can take to just communicate with one another. Now Scram looking to be potentially in a world of hurt here. We heard from Nyx, PF Zin earlier on. This is the Brazilian duo. I don't think they know that. Yes, Scram, they're going to be on the hunt for him, so they know that he's around here. They're just trying to sniff him out.
Yeah, and if you were in the players' lounge, you could feel
Moi, j'aime pas les débuts de game là.
Specifically when we brought up the Brazilian duos, the Brazilian players, these guys qualified and they qualified with heavy elimination. Nyx especially being one of our only players to like literally qualify as hard as you can in the, you know, for the weekend.
He was at it each and every week. You constantly saw him at the top every single time. It was so impressive, and also qualified for solo, so we'll be seeing Nyx tomorrow. And then you got Scram. He's got 2 eliminations, but he's just hiding this one out. He hears them making all that ruckus, all the noise around him, and Scram just does not want to give up his position. Perhaps he grabbed his teammate's reboot card. He's maybe looking for that play. But Nyx and PF Zin, they have to have an idea of where he's going to be located here.
Yeah, he does not want to give up his position here. He's actually just hiding in the basement right now, hoping that these guys just kind of blow by like dust in the wind right here. As Nyx and PF Zin, they think it's clear. They think it's all good because they came in and they just wrapped up one of the other players. They actually didn't initiate the battle against Mexi and Scram here. So Scram might just get lucky and be able to kind of sneak on by as he hears this powerhouse duo, this Brazilian duo, kind of loot their way through and make their way to the zone soon.
And loot they definitely will, because they're getting a lot of resources out of this. Scram over in the distance, he's going to be out of there, but now we're making our way over to the action. It's happening with 7SSK7. Got Spades and Crims now looking to push on for this fight here, potentially. Got some shots going off. Crims is going to play that overlook position, getting challenged there, and trying to use that advantage from the download, a little bit of that right hand, right? Just see if he can get a peek in there. Does get tagged up, Crims. That guy does back away there, does manage to build out. And Spades is going to force him out. There you go. So they're just right now playing for that positioning, and I like the fact that they're using these, you know, the natural high grounds, right? Get to the top, hold it down. Don't really focus too much on just trying to get in their face quite yet. Give yourself that moment of opportunity and really get a lay of the land, and then going for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. The best duos will try their best to isolate their opponents, really force them into, you know, very weird situations like this, force the 1v1s, and hopefully get those free shots and then pursue the push here. So again, look at how now they're split up again. So Spades and Crims are doing a great job here pressuring and isolating their opponents right now. And so far, they're definitely dictating the pace of battle here.
Yeah,
that's what they want to continue to do.
They're suffocating them. Plain and simple, right? Not let them get any kind of movement there. I mean, Jamside and 7SSK7, they're looking, they're having a conversation of what the play is. What is the movement going to be? But Crims and Spades are not going to allow them that opportunity to breathe. That's going to be the down there. Crims managing to knock down Jamside. He's looking for 7SSK7 around the corner, and that's going to be the elimination registered. Both players are going to be out of there. And a big win there for Crimson Spades.
What a clean push right there. Crimson Spades have so much to prove here, because when they qualified,
qu'est-ce qu'on se fait chier.
Oh,
mise des droits. Non,
was it not? No, they're here to show it off,
comment il
to
va
show
s'approcher de
why
l'écran
they're
là.
at the World Cup Finals. But now,
Allah, il va bouffer
back
l'écran.
with Miz and Daedra, we saw them have a great game one, came out top 10, and they're still in the running. They're in about the top 10 right now as well, based off of eliminations. Not necessarily picking up too many placement points. They're heavily dependent on just piping up these players at these points of interest. And looks like Lucky Landers is theirs right now.
And they'll have that, but let's see. It isn't Daedra. They linger about it. I love the fact that you go to this hot spot here, so there is going to be a bunch of free items that you're going to be able to pick up on. Also, you're going to have that circle advantage. It's right there, so you don't got to worry too much. You can continue to focus on looting. High ground has been lost, though.
Ok, mise. Allez, Daedra. Allez, mise.
Where's Daedra at? He's going to be right next to him, trying to get these angles.
So what they have to do, they have to stick together. Looking for the sound cues right here. Can they find their opponent? Catch a nice little low ground peek right here. Low ground is definitely underrated. If you can just kind of peek out, catch a big shot, you're almost guaranteed a headshot, which is a big multiplier.
Yeah, players don't really think about that, right? Like you always see Fortnite players go after the high ground. That's the bread and butter for a lot of players that play this game. But you know better than most that the low ground can pay dividends for you if you know how to take advantage of that positioning, and maybe some overzealous players to try and get aggressive on you. You got Gustavo along with Wishy.
I'm actually very interested to see if Gustavo's going to lead this push here, because specifically between these two players right here, this duo, this Brazilian duo, Gustavo doesn't necessarily lead the pushes. It's Wishy. Wishy's the aggressive one here, so he has the ultimate high. He's always looking for the shot. What are they going to do? It's just a nice standoff.
Yeah, and that's this whole event, right? Players have just been very cautious about what they want to do. They are not trying to get too aggressive in these fights. They know what's on the line here. Millions in prizing is on the line. You do not want to make a bad decision. Be one of those teams that are eliminated out early on. But Gustavo's going to be putting shots down. Focusing this player, forcing him to actually build up. He has no builds to work with as well. 19 HP remaining. Just a hope and a prayer, but unfortunately for him, that was not going to be enough there. Isn't going to happen for him either. And Miz, he's feeling it. That's going to be 2 elims for this duo.
You gotta love the snarky little smirk right there on his face when you get those 2 points. Feels so good.
It's really good. It feels really good. And then Volks and Parpy. And look at this. Parpy actually dealing with this battle. And this other player that actually got the high ground against him was focus firing on Volks. Parpy pushing back here. I wonder, you get split up like this, but Volks and Parpy, they love playing a very aggressive style. They'll get in your face. They'll box you out if they need to.
Yeah, without a doubt, this duo was unmatched when it came down to eliminations in the qualifying rounds. They had the most, actually, and even pulled off a consecutive 5 victories in 8 games to qualify for one of the weekends. Volks and Parpy, another kind of reference to Game 1. They had a great Game 1. We saw them picking up duos, but we haven't seen them necessarily make it through to endgame. All they have to do is kind of slow it down here, and that's what they're trying to do, but being split up is terrible.
Also, in the distance, I just want to make note, Wolfie's a very aggro controller player. He's another one. I think that we've seen a fun mixture of players that look to get that safe approach to the game, and then others that just want to take early fights, get some points early on, because maybe they're playing that early game strategy rather than like focusing so hard. Like if you get late game, that's great, but you do want to rack up a few eliminations. Look how low the points are that have been thus far in games 1 and 2. Get yourself a few elims and then maybe manage to make it to that top 15, which is very hard given how many players have stayed alive in this game. Games 1 and 2, we were at what, like...
Il y a personne à faire à
Yeah,
Fatigue.
Circle 5, I think we were sitting at like 45, 46 players. They're just waiting for movement.
Yeah, and that's where that storm surge kicks in, right? Does damage to players. That's dealing back. But Crew and Chapels, one of my picks to watch, have sort of been struggling in the format so far. I guess when the real pressure's on, you know, the environment shifts, right? Everything changes.
That's right. Everything changes here, and Crew does manage to get that shot off, or attempted to, with that tactical shotgun. It was not going to get the connection necessary there, but it did put the fear in the player to have to back away. Both players, well, respecting the space from one another. The stinkers come out. Crew and Chapix having to get out of there, and they're going to use those, I believe, the shockwave nades to just fly on out of there. Didn't see the purple over their bodies there, but they were able to fly on out of that fight. Could have gotten real risky for them.
I was going to say, that was a respectful disengage. You only got 6 games here, 2 of which have happened.
That's
they
right.
need big performances. They have to push towards placement and end game. So good on them to kind of back up, man. When you
Pas
have
de faire là, en
defense
vein
against
zone
it,
comme
you get
ça.
choked down right through your build.
J'ai
It
tout
really
qui
is
carré.
annoying to go against. And speaking about the stinkers here, Epic Whale's under pressure right now, and that's just going to chunk him down. They force him off of the campfire, and we'll see if he returns to it. Yep, here you go.
Yeah, you're only going to get so much time with that campfire. Epic Whale along with 40R Storm. This is a Week 10 qualified duo. Last moment you could possibly have it happen, and they managed to pull it off. Maybe this could be the game for them. Another dominating duo in the scene, Airwalks and Nikov. Airwalks winning the Pro-Am yesterday 2 times now. This is a whole new ball game. Best players in the world in this lobby. It's not going to be a cakewalk, and he knows that. It hasn't been the best run thus far for Airwalks and Nikov.
Yeah, and it was their last final games there. Notice the text right there. The fast track Airwalks and Nikov qualified for the Fortnite World Cup in their final 7 games. That's intense. They were struggling so close on the cusp every single weekend, so close to qualifying. If it was 5 placements, they were 6 or something like that. It was that close for them. But jumping in here, Crew is going to put some pressure down, and it looks like his teammate has been traded out as well. He's already gone.
Also going to see some eliminations over in the feed as well. You got Crew who just cleaned up on Volks, but Septic took out X-Mend. And then I think I saw XXM pop up there on the receiving end of a shot there, so we'll be out of the action as well. Crew by himself has 1 elimination. Going to be looking to get as many points as possible. Now we're going to be sitting with 40 duos left alive. We're going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start to collapse. Salty Springs is going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty Divot, like on the northern end of it, sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last-minute loot, perhaps. We'll have to see.
Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Volks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait a second, that was a tricky little shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you going to do with it? Crew still looking for the replacement here. He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184! Crew's excitement, you can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary.
That's right, when you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight.
Bon, je vois pas d'Airwalks Nikov là, ça rend fou. Ah si, Airwalks Nikov en haut à droite. Allez. Allez, Airwalks. Allez, Nikov.
They're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. And then you got a few of the veterans. Zexro, Vinny, saw Nate Hill, as well as Funk Mongrel, Mitro, Aiden there in the corner of the screen. And back over to our Game 2 winners, Zexro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's the aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and just take him out on that one.
Yeah, definitely want to see Wolfie hopefully get some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players who actually qualify for this weekend. This is a big weekend for a lot of players, obviously, clearly. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm.
They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past, but this has just not been their game so far. Got to get something to turn it around. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they got to start doing some things. And I think games 1 and 2 has not been their game.
Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Ziff right there. As Mitro sends one flying down the field right there.
Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back into the action at hand. We're going to have 36 duos left in this. Notable names, obviously, Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd popped for Benji Fishy when he walked out, as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another.
Right.
Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes at the World Cup.
Look what happened in Game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Fwexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him. Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's going to be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now.
Ok, Benji, il est à terre, il se fait terminer là, il a plus d'argent.
That was going to be Fwexy.
And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used the shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peeking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold down scope right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself?
It's not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. But he's still looking to harass some players. Put some pressure on them. Now you see that happen, half out circle. Only 2 duos are going to be inside of there. So everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team we want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Mitro.
Mongrel toujours vivant, Mitro aussi. Pas de sniper qui vient de tomber.
They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly gonna make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's gonna go out now. Need to be wary of just getting beamed in the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongrel were shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
Bon. Là, je vois pas d'Aroxnikov, je me dis pas ce qu'ils sont morts. Stampy qui vient d'être KO. Oh, il y a Nikov, je vois pas d'Arox. Nikov est là, Arox mort. Peut-être ils sont dispersés, mais là, je vois juste Nikov, je vois pas d'Arox. Ok, ils ont pas de planeur, ils sont tout en haut, ils sont tendés. Ils sont des... Mitro qui s'est fait démonter.
We'll see if Calculator can keep up right now. I am just poking good fun because Calculator loves to talk a big game on the social medias.
He really does, man. He's a character without a doubt. But right now, there's no fun and games to be had. This is Game 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Finals. It's time to put up or shut up for a lot of these players.
Arox, il te choque trop là. Lui, il a pas de planeur, il peut se faire tomber. Ah, il va le smoke.
This was earlier on.
Mongrel mort.
Elimination onto Mongrel and Mitro. There you have it. Out of the game once again. That duo, European powerhouse, gonna pay there to Dubs and Mega.
Ok, ça fait des kills là, on voit pas encore de Nikov mort.
Accidentally, but it's all good. This is still his ground to control right now. They have clear control of the skies here.
And they have a ton of builds to work with as well.
Là, on ils sont bien là.
4 eliminations. for Macwood. A great game for him thus far. That's 4 points for this duo, but he's going to be taking some shots. Has to be careful there. And there you can see the lay of the land, Monster.
Yes, the placement thresholds will be divvied out soon. There goes the Storm Surge already ringing down on players. Jay has to make a big move. Doesn't matter. Zate is going to wrap up right here as Keys goes down as well. And the shots are flying. And you can just look at the overhead, the chaos.
Je vois pas de Nikov, il est mort.
And look who's still in this, Saf. They're going to be in first place if they
Il est caché et tout, mais là, première vue, il est mort. Oh, Oslo bat sniper toujours vivant. Tous les deux en plus. Nikov mort. Aerox mort. Enter mort. Kingstar mort. Tout Solari mort. Tout le monde mort. À part Oslo et bat sniper.
Play defense. He has to disengage. And there's Saf, who just lost his teammate Zafe. Now he's going to be running this one solo. And then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange, Monster.
That's exactly where you want to be.
Oslo bat sniper toujours vivant les deux. Ok, ils ont fait un kill. Oslo bat sniper quand ils sont tous les deux en fin de zone. C'est dangereux pour leur adversaire. Par contre, Nicky Wolf là, et je sais pas quoi là, les mecs tout en haut ils sont super bons. Ils jouent pas gros. Bad sniper. Wow. Il est KO. Il se fait rien. Non, ok. Oslo toujours vivant tout seul. Bad sniper. Voilà.
Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkrum just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkrum down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial
Oslo qui se faufile tout en bas. On me dit dans l'oreillette que Bot Sniper a fait 11 kills.
Yes, that's right. Oslo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this fighter fight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal
Oslo qui est hors zone. What? Oslo, qu'est-ce que tu fous là? Oslo qui est mort.
Calculator, 9 total, plus the victory royale, 19 points for that duo, crushed it.
There was just something about the loadout, seeing that RPG once they already were holding the best point, the high ground. You just knew pressure, and that's what Macwood did there. What was it, 7 eliminations? Hey, shout out to Calculator too, he got a couple.
Yeah, he had his back, most importantly.
Bot Sniper et Oslo, ils sont super bien. Je dirais même que là, ils sont dans le top 5. Sûr. Enfin, sûr, non. Ça dépend des dernières games s'ils ont fait quelques points. Alors là, si les dernières games, ils ont fait genre, je sais pas moi, 5-10 points. Ils peuvent être au top 5 là, parce que genre, l'autre il a fait 11 kills. Oslo, je sais pas combien il a fait de kills. Les games, les placements là, ils ont fait top 5. Franchement, ça la voit.
The game, and look how happy they were there.
So good, gotta love the reactions right there.
Whew. What a game that was. Had a little bit of a slow ramp up, you know, but that's what Fortnite will do to you. You're just talking, you're having a conversation about where the positioning is going to be, and then out of nowhere, boom, you're in the action, you're in the fight, and things start to get wild. Great game there for Macwood and Calculator. Calculator winning on the world stage, man. Look at that. Eat your heart out, Reddit.
I gotta say, you know, I'm sure he's proved a lot of people wrong, and you have to respect it. Yeah. But, Golden Boy, I want to see where we stand here.
Where are we right now? So at the top, it's still going to be Saf and Zay.
Ok, Oslo Bot Sniper 7ème position. Aucun autre joueur français dans le top 10. Ils ont 20 points, Bot Sniper et Oslo. dans 13 kills.
They have 22 points total.
0
12
top 1.
eliminations in that game. They're finally in that top 10.
20 points, le premier à 31 points. Et Roxnikov, je sais pas ils ont combien de points. Ah, ça va être dur de récup là. Oh, le premier à 38 points, pas 31. Ah là c'est dur. Là c'est très dur là pour Roxnikov de remonter. Des dramis. Ok. Et Roxnikov, ils ont même pas 12 points. Du coup là c'est grave.
Japanese duo who had a premier game in game number 1. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage saw their demise earlier on. They're going to have 13 points there, but you saw the standings, and we're in game 3. And these games are going to be so critical. Games 3 and 4 really set that tone, because once you get into like game 5, a lot of players are going to be down low. Like, there's an opportunity for you to try and get your way into that top 20, which is where you're really going to start to get a lot in the prizing. But for the folks that are going to be sitting in top 10 right now, they're going to be feeling very nice about their current standings. For game 3 to be in second place, Dubs and Mega,
Putain.
still performing so well.
That's the crazy part. Dubs and Mega.
Bon là, ils ont 3 games pour se rattraper, Roxnikov. Faut qu'ils fassent 3 top 1. Et Roxnikov, on compte sur vous.
That's right. So I did get word. We have Jordan standing by with our winners from game 3. Jordan, take it away.
NA really showing up and showing off today. It's amazing, seemingly tapping in that nail on the coffin. Such a please pardon the pun, I have to say, calculated game here from Calculator and Macwood. Guys, well matted, well utilized. You dominated high ground, seemingly all of that in-game there. Walk me through that process of getting that high ground, attaining, and then dominating for the rest of the game.
Well, we were able to pick up 2 lucky eliminations on that outer circle of 4th zone, I think it is, and we were able to use our mats to build up. We were lucky enough to get half and half, and we were able to just beam people out of the air, hold high, and got lucky with a couple zones.
Amazing. Well, I mean, again, you had 3 games left to go. The strategy, is it going to continue to shift around a little bit, or are you guys going to maintain what you've been working on thus far?
I didn't hear the question.
Strategy, maintaining thus far. You guys have a very calculated and very patient game, seemingly leading all the way up to the end of the end game. Right, walk me through your strategy for the end of the next 3 games.
Shoot them in the head. Ils vont faire quoi, top 1?
You heard it here first. Back to you, GV and Monster.
Calculator gets one opportunity to show the world his prowess and knowledge of Fortnite. He just says, shoot them in the head. You gotta respect it.
You know, some people, it's just that simple, and hey man, maybe he's just wired that way, right? We're all wired a little differently. Calculator has clearly got his head on his shoulders, and he's ready to just shoot things.
Yeah, but Macwood was the one doing a bulk of the shooting in that last game. 7 eliminations for Macwood. He looked so great, and you would expect the young Calculator to be the one that leads the charge on slaying, but Macwood, man, holding it down. And let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I mean, you know, Macwood not that much older, right? But I think it's just important to note that you have to have teammates at any point in time to just pop off. Like, you need that. It's so necessary. You got to trust in your teammate. That's what makes a lot of these duos so successful.
Yes, I mean, we've seen it from the start of every round. Some teams are just more aggressive than the others, and they know how to stick together.
A lot of great moments in that game, and good news for us is that we got Sundown standing by to break it all down. Sundown, over to you.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. Now, we talked about Safe and Zat. We just got to talk with Macwood and Calculator. Dubs and Vega had an incredible game from the early into the mid that they transitioned into a top 2 performance. So let's dive right on in and see what allowed to make them into the top 3. First, notice their elims in the bottom corner, but the rifle fire together. The second they see the shield is down, able to pick up 1. Mega is the one who is leading the charge here. He picks up all 4 of their first elims. You can see Waller plays down, and the trap is so intelligent. Double ticks going through, places the ramp so it's phased. Knowing the yellow is there, pushes in 2 more elims, chugs flashes. Dubs stays up with just barely enough HP, and you can see he's trying to trap the floor every single time. Gets the mid-ground control. 5th elim for Mega. We talked about how high their ceiling was, unfortunately using the shockwave to go down and end up at a low ground disadvantage. Calculator and Macwood able to ride it out, but now Mega and Dubs have pushed into that top 3, challenging to be the first ever World Championship duo. The team who has possibly the highest ceiling, full qualified solos and duos. The question is, in the last half, the last 3 games, will they be able to keep it up? Will NA stay on top? Will Serpent and Hype represent Oceania and upset the apple cart? I'm about ready to see some hype myself. Let's throw it back inside for the last 3 games. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, these games have been incredible, and if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. We're in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Game 3 just concluded. We had 3 different winners across 3 different games. This is our duos competition. These players are playing for a lot of money and prizing. So much on the line here. Lives will change forever after today for those players that are on the stage. And some of the folks you're seeing on your screen right now in, well, I would say in different situations than they would find themselves in. You got Vinny and Zexro, they're right there. Zayt and Sap, 3 games in, still holding on to first place. It has been wild stuff. Welcome, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Monster D-Face here, and it's been a great day. Really, there's nothing more that you could possibly say about it. And as I had mentioned before, the prizing, the money that these guys are battling it out for, this is it. First place will take home $3 million. Second place gets $2.2 million. Like, that's just absurd. You get in the, where is this here?
4 millionaires, 4 millionaire duos before the weekend is over. Not to mention all the fame and clout that comes with it. So I think you'll be pretty well off at that point. But everyone's a winner here. We're here to celebrate all of the competitors that made it this far to the Fortnite World Cup final stage, because those 10 weekends of qualifications were not easy.
Yeah, when you get into 10th place, that's where you really start to rack up some coin. But game 4 now about to begin. Here we go, folks. Let's see who's going to come out on top. We've had 3 different winners, but our top performers have been consistent through and through. Are we going to see a repeat winner? Are we going to get a new one to add to the list? It's now time. The battle bus is loaded up. Let's start game 4.
And you know what? Every game so far, we've seen a new winner. I love that. Same thing with the Pro-Am. There was always some new duo showing that, hey, we've been playing this game, we're ready to take a victory. Everyone here has the potential to come out on top, and you see it unfold in those final moments.
Throughout the weekend, we've been doing interviews, meeting with fans, and talking to people, and a lot of folks have asked, who do you think is going to win? And I know it sounds like a cop-out answer, but I'll be very real with you all. I have no freaking idea because it truly is up. It's up in the air. This is a battle royale game. At any point in time, you can have Macwood and Calculator just having the game of their lives in Game 3, and now look, boom, they're going to be sitting in the top 10. I mean, how do you even predict that?
We nearly saw it with Zayt and Sap. I think anyone with good logic can clearly put their money on people that have had prior experience, but even that is not enough, because Macwood and Calculator are showing that, hey, you know what? We don't even need that. We're here to slay.
Dubs and Mega, they're in 2nd place. They made their names in these qualifiers that led us up to this point. They did not find themselves in land. This is the first time these young men are up there playing on this stage. When I was their age, I couldn't even believe that I would be capable of doing something like that. And they're doing it, and they're doing it with style. And then, to make matters worse for everyone else in the server, they've been so consistent, deadly through and through.
Yeah, that's right. And they're in 2nd place, no victory royale. So just showing that if you step to their box, you're gonna get hurt. We saw Mega with the masterful, and I mean beautiful performance under Storm Surge pressure. He didn't even blink an eye, still fighting other players, fighting his way out of that desperate situation. Volks and Parpy, let's just hop into this duo right here. We'll talk about him a little bit. They are known for sticking to the hip in PvP. Earlier today, we saw Volks get traded out, but it wasn't just like an easy trade. They were actually winning the engagement up until that point, just showing that they have the skill. And that's the OCE region, right? One of the most feared regions here at the qualifiers, because of the fact that you just had to get a ton of elims. You had to be #1 in the region.
When talking to players, I would ask them, what are you looking to avoid? And every time, if it was, you know, the NAU players, they would say, I'm just trying to avoid OCE or Brazil. I don't want to have to deal with that, because they play the hyper aggro style. and they just don't care who you are. They're going to go for the fight.
I mean, you saw Scarlett and Bell in that first game. I truly thought they were going to take the whole thing. It was so close.
Even Sinnoh in the Pro-Am yesterday, another top player
finished second.
Region finished second, and he was just, I know it's a Pro-Am, obviously a different competition there, but he was just going into boxes. He didn't care, not a care in the world for them. Now Vokes and Parpy, you find a player above here, right by the jet stream.
And he hit him once for whites already, so that means there is no shield on that player. You can have up to 100 effective shield. That player's dangerously weak, and folks just keep an eye on him. He doesn't know if he's slipped out already, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna go back to my teammate. It's a little too risky getting split up here.
Yeah, play for the mid to late game in this situation now, but 7SSK is gonna be dealing once again with Spades and Crimson. Seems like just a constant for them. They cannot seem to win out on this fight. Crimson's going to be down though, so the advantage could be going in the favor of Jamside and 7SSK. Spades going to have the high ground, now having to deal with a 1v2. Does he have what it takes to pull this one off? He doesn't own that wall. He has no more builds to work with as well. They're going to push out, and Spades couldn't deal with it, and that's going to be the win there for those two.
You would think for Jamside and SSK, like, hey, you know, we've been landing here, haven't been successful. Do you mix it up? They say, nah, I'm going to stick to my guns here, because everyone's a winner, regardless.
The VP boys coming out on top. Week 6 qualifiers for them, and they just need that game, that one game. So many of these players get that one game that catapults them into the top 10. Then the momentum shifts, the confidence starts to rise up. You think to yourself, I am capable of being able to do this.
Mongrel looking for it right here. Love this dual perspective right now. Mongrel's actually looking for a side angle. He's going for the offense, pushing out. Is he tracking this player down? It's really hard to tell. They're getting into, really just going deeper into Neo Tilted. If you hang on the outskirts or by the slips, you're at huge risk for getting dived onto. It looks like they say, you know what, we're just going to continue to push on through. Those guys dive off, and those markers are actually the trackers. They say, hey, you're going this way. Mongrel still wants a piece of this.
Keeping up with where players are moving in the crowded Neo Tilted, a new area that was introduced just a little while ago. Some players made Tilted Towers their home. This was a drop spot for so many, the likes of Nick Merckx, Aiden, right? But ever since it changed, you started to see players second guess whether or not they wanted to go to the new Tilted. Talking to Aiden earlier, actually when we went out to go get pizza and stuff, he had mentioned like Tilted's just a whole different beast now. And just not something that he really would want to deal with. That's why you don't really see him going that way anymore.
Yeah, it's just a different lay of the land. As things start to shift, different comforts kind of tend to evolve and whatnot here. But we have Twiz in cover H looking for a push down right now, and they have the positioning, they have the high ground, and it's just a matter of, do we want to dive down? They don't want to give up their angle. They know this duo below them have a flint knock. Flint knock can do so much damage if you peek the wrong way. Minimal's gonna hit you for about 80.
This duo from New Zealand, we had a chance to talk to them for that piece, and great to see that friendship, the communication that they'll have for one another, something that a lot of these duos that came together for the Fortnite World Cup duos portion of the finals don't really have. They don't have that cohesion, that chemistry that these two will have, right? That Sap and Zate would have as well.
Crazy to think there's 89 players in the lobby and 48 duos, so a lot of disengages, a lot of solos out there right now. Keenstar and Hunter looking to defend themselves right now, and it's just a cat game right here, cat and mouse game. What are they going to do? They actually shockwave on out of there, and into the slip they go. They're out. They're trying to get away. That was a shadow bomb right there, and he's gone.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that duo that was coming in, but the storm is creeping up now. This is only phase 1. Nyx gets knocked by Zexro. Saw that in the elimination feed just a second ago. Item and Derox out in the wide open.
And it looks like actually they saw Mend right there building by himself in a one poor wooden shack, and they're pushing the shack now. So Twiz is going to hear these shots off in the distance, but looks like we're hopping over to the Loot Lake area where it's Macwood and Calculator going against Daedra and Miz. This is a top 10 contenders right here.
The game 3 winners now having to deal with Daedra and Miz. Shots as well, snipe shot. You just heard that one squeak by Daedra. Need to be careful there. There's some more shots being laid out. Disengage as well. And they're just really pushing them away from here because you got to get to that safe zone. Don't want to have to deal with the storm, obviously. It's still early games here, so you're not going to be ticked for too much. But you're really looking for this next zone where you're going to start to move here. And this, again, the game is going to be so slow in the start because as you get closer and closer to the end, game 4, critical game, Monster. So many points you can earn from this. Flying into the top 10 potentially if we have a new winner that was outside of it. This is where players start to, I guess it really sets in on them that they're going to be playing for $3 million in prizing.
Yeah, if it hasn't already, I don't know what world they're living in, but here it is. Twiz goes for the shockwave overhead, and it's Diros who eats a chunky one right there. Cover H looking to chop this bad boy down. In comes the sinkers. Is it going to be enough, though? The pressure is so real right here.
Twiz and Cover H doing it not only for themselves, doing it for New Zealand, their families, and everyone watching them at home. And that is going to be one elimination through. I saw that one pop up. That's number 1 for this duo. The challenge comes in, and that's the win there. 2 elims total. Twiz gets them both.
He tried to get out there and play the trap play, but it was not enough. 7 SSK and Jam Side have rotated in from Paradise Found.
Oh no.
Oh no, down comes the build.
Oh, no.
He should be close enough. Yeah, he is going to be able to catch the build battle goes off, Golden Boy.
Cover H is going to be down. Jam Side. 7 SSK 7. You're looking at Jam's perspective here. Going in for the fight, and after winning that one out, it's going to be Jam and 7 SSK 7 that get the better of the boys from New Zealand.
They found their stride coming into game 4 so far, and that means they're in the running right now. 4 elims is enough to put you on just about page 2, top 20, and we talked about it. If you can make it to that top 20 bracket, you're still in the running so far because there are several more games left before this thing is over here. This Calculator finds himself very high in the sky right here. He's got a nice little base. They're just waiting.
Yeah, waiting it out. Norwood's going to be beneath them. And those are the players that were forced to pop before. Oh no. Starting to hear the explosions, knocking them out.
Wow, he actually sent a shot when the Splode came in and hit Cease with that? What? How was Cease knocked right there?
Just, again, when it comes to Fortnite, you never know what you're really going to expect here. Players will always pull something out of the hat and surprise you each and every time. I was looking over at Macwood, who's playing defense. Calculator now really having to deal with 2 players angling shots at him. Macwood back into a fighting position, a fighting posture to help his buddy out.
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate because they were just about to push to seal the deal on Elevate there, and that third party up on the mountain ruined that push.
Slows things down. Elevated Seas having to deal with the stinkers will be moving out of the fight now.
I love it right there. He uses the stinkers to back him off, and since he doesn't take friendly damage from it, he pushes right into enemy territory here. He's so offensive. He's on the enemy trap. Macwood gets owned right there.
Not what you wanted to see happen after winning game number 3, but Elevate and Cease, we mentioned them before. They just need that moment to pop off so everyone here in New York can see what they're capable of. Such a great duo, but now having to deal with another fight. But to Elevate, what a shot there. On Calculator, sending him packing.
Calculator did a great job, though. He did win his straight off against Cease. Ronaldo and Zip are just nearby, though. Looks like they've heard the commotion. They're getting closer, and it's Norwood. Norwood's lurking about. He was like, you know what, getting closer, trying to see what he can do here. And Zip's going to fall down here because of the shockwave.
Yeah, Norwood was the one down low, hearing all of the action happening. Zip and Ronaldo now in front of us. They managed to get this wall, just get ownership of it, but the ramp is going to be placed, giving him time to wiggle out of that moment of time.
And Norwood actually used all of his shockwaves there to disengage.
Yeah, it's not really worth it. By herself, evidently. Oh, man. And that's Norwood. Norwood tried.
Didn't get far.
He did not get far at all, my friend. But there's the other duo right in front of him. Zip and Ronaldo have him in the sights. Ronaldo's going to be on the other side now. Engaging in the fight, not taking any damage.
Such a good job, though. Good job by Zip here to come in and back up his teammate right now. He is trying desperately to get to his teammate here. This is great teamwork. Now they have the pinch lined up, and the trap is down. That's a siphon for Elevate right there.
That siphon could be the difference maker for him. Zip doesn't have any shields. Needs to take a moment to just pop the minis.
A little bit of a reset here.
He's still in this too, so he didn't get knocked. He's not full eliminated yet.
Which is rough. You don't convert the Elam, you don't get the point either here. As Elevate is doing a great job on defense, but
Bon, là, c'est arrivé en end zone ou pas
Campfire
encore?
heals down players as well. This is actually really, really smart of them to sit on the Campfire right now and just wait and buy time. Always looking to set up the phase through right there, trying to get through the build. Some shockwave comes out and close but no cigar.
Such an intense fight between these two.
Oh no, someone thirsted.
Snappy, he went for the shot from the distance. There you see him right there along with Red Rush. And then Zip down low on this island using not only the rocks but also this metal that he had just built up for himself to get out of this.
Zip is the target of the server at the moment, as everywhere he moves, he cannot seem to catch a break, but he is going to find a little bit of that high ground real estate right here and hopefully ease up the burden, but nope, has to change layers again.
Ça bulle bien par là.
And now let's go ahead and take a look.
Oh, and Zip is out of here.
Fini, hein.
Funk, it's
Le son. Yes, Aerox Nico, he's on route.
Funk there, but no, I think that was Elevate. Apologies, that was Elevate that did get that.
But the secure was there. Moving on now, taking a look at the other side of the map. We have Stompy and Shinken still in the game. Mongra and Mitro, Benji and Savage, Aqua. All of these duos, very, very powerhouse duos here. Close by right now.
4 eliminations for Benji Fishy. 36 duos remaining. It's going to be a loot late circle. So some water. Players will just have to build over. Nothing that these guys can't handle. A lot of open air though. Lots of open air.
All right, Benji's at 4 eliminations here.
He's been having a good game. They've been playing well.
Playing very good. 4 elims.
Just the final moments, right?
This early in the game to have 4 elims is actually huge, and I love what they're doing right now, just fishing for damage, because Storm Surge, you never want to be under the pressure of the Storm Surge. They know that with 50 players in the lobby, dependent on the zone, Storm Surge will activate, excuse me. So Force Thinkers is the perfect tool, perfect utility to have.
Can take some damage down on any of these players, getting comfortable inside of a box. Now looking at this. Got Vinny down low in a campfire.
Mongra and Mitro.
Saw Aiden and Sean there too. Had a few good moments for Aiden and Sean. It hasn't really been their event so far.
Dude.
6 elims.
That's insane. Having 6 eliminations already. Take a look at this stat right here. Damage dealt 842. The match average, every other player on average, 176. That's not even enough to take out a player with shield and health. So they're doing a lot of work on this lobby right now, and they are here to play. Looks like they're going to find themselves another spot. This is actually an interesting spot, but it's all good because they have launch pads. They can get up and over this cliff lip right here, and they're backside safe, so all they have to do is protect their forward angles.
I understand we did get some moments of Mongo earlier on as he's trying to see where players are going to start to make some moves. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And we'll come back and see where they are currently.
Le Storm Surge. Mongra il fait un petit kill. Ah non, c'est un replay. Ah ouais. C'est ça, Mongra.
Oh my god, nice!
And that's why this is one of the best duos in Fortnite. Way to clutch up in those moments, man. Yeah, the nerves, they have to be shaking there.
Ok, là, ouais, Mongra a Mitro. Et on va voir si Aerox et Nico sont toujours à ou pas. Parce qu'à partir. Ah, c'est la game 4, là, franchement. À partir de cette game, ils doivent bien faire des bonnes pertes s'ils veulent avoir encore une chance de gagner la World Cup.
And they're here to win this game. That's the mission. But everyone else, all 33 duos that remain here have that same objective in mind. Luckily for them, I think that circle does work out for them just a tad.
And there it is.
Je vois pas d'erreur, Nico.
Now live.
And it's going to hurt some people.
You either have to do damage, or less than 50 players have to be in the lobby. So 6 players, 6 individual players right
Gustavo's
now
out.
are under it. Yep, that's it. Gustavo gets owned right there. Is Wishy going to be able to do something about it?
Attends, Tifio, il est qualifié en jeu ou pas?
Dubs and Mega once again. They're in second place in the leaderboards. 3 games have worked out very, very well for them.
And they can see that effect. You can see the storm surge around you.
51 players. Only 1 player needs to be eliminated, and that will be it.
Says, you know what? We balling. They out. They're going. They're trying to get that zone playing for placement right now. And do you blame them? Why not? They're in the lead right now. All they have to do is consistently skate through. They've gotten through the hardest part, the beginning. They're warmed up. As Mega is trying to fish around here and get a good spot in. Looks like they get themselves a little bit more real estate, but the pressure is in because the baller players come in.
Right in front of them, too. More defense having to be played here. It's kind of shades of game 3 when they were in a similar spot, but this was from the high ground. This time, they'll be right in front of them. The action has cooled, though. They can take a moment to reset.
Definitely did cost a fair amount of metal right there. Mega now on 300 metals, trying to inch his way to that fence nearby. Just doing a little bit of a material swap right there. Back to Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy with the minigun. The minigun's so good for pressure plays.
Spread out a few of those materials. Get ready for the potential movement. The snaking is what you would hear players often mention. They tunnel out, give themselves some coverage. You need a lot of materials for that. Then the artillery strike from up above, a new item that was added. You can build around it and give yourself some defense, so really it's just waiting it out rather than having to move out of the blast area. 5 elims for Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy. 6 for Mitra and Mongrel. This has certainly been a dominant game for EU thus far.
Yeah, for sure. As Yuang takes out Grote right there, EU player is going to go down. Grote gets the trade out, though. Must have been the zone here as we are cutting across here. Mitra's trying to find some real estate here. Is he going to be able to set up? He's going for the high ground. A little bit of a build-off, but Mongrel's got it under control. He's got the high. Who's putting some pressure down?
Yeah.
He's getting the shot straight across here, Golden.
Yeah, there was a duo right on the other side there that Mitra was concerned about. So he goes
Ouah, tout le monde qui a...
really, wherever you go, there are going to be players looking right at you. And sometimes
Je
you
sais
just
pas
manage
si
to
elle
incur the
retient
wrath of the entire server. Luckily for Mitra, that did not happen quite yet. Saf, I just saw Saf get dropped. Zate's going to be separated from his teammate there across the side. And that is the circle creeping on forward. It's going to be open air, open space for them, so the ballers will have space to move around and
Bah
try
dans le
to
casino,
survive
mais
here.
combien tu farmes, tu prends des ateliers de drogue, c'est worth en vrai. Tu farmes, tu prends un atelier de drogue et genre le plus nul atelier ça te rapporte au moins genre 300K, un truc comme ça.
Can they find themselves amongst the chaos here? Aqua and Nyrox are holding up the high ground here as well, and that's a scary duo way up top, uncontested.
Not someone that you want to have up above you. Mitro, 6 builds remaining. After this, doesn't really have much left to work with, and the builds go away pretty much instantly. Zate gets eliminated, so that's going to be the end of the duo that's currently in first place in the standings, but Mega and Dubs. Dubs is out as well. 4 eliminations for the duo, the bottom right of your screen. Mega very capable of being able to clutch this out by himself, but it will not be easy.
Yeah, Mongrel actually just slips into the low ground too right now, so he is trying to stay alive here. Jumps into someone's box. It's Voron who gets taken out right there by Mongrel, so he's still in the running. Mega goes up and gets traded as well. Vinny's still here too. So many solos remain right now, but there are still several duos in the game here, Golden.
And the scariest duo is going to be up above. It's Aqua and Nyrox. They're tarping this up, and they're putting down shots wherever they can. If they can get a few more eliminations, a few more points, that will jettison them up the
Je pense
leaderboard.
que je vois Airwax. Je vois pas de Nico.
He has 7 already.
Je sais pas si c'est Airwax ou pas.
Jumps out of the box. Won't be still in the game.
Controller player.
Mais Inch'Allah c'est
Talking to our boy Christian earlier, mentioned he loves to get in the faces of players, and it has worked out for him thus far. Elevate is out of the game. 7 eliminations for him, 7 points, not bad at all, and you're going to get the placements to boot. Still, Aqua and Nyrox up above. Then you got Benji Fishy in the game. 5 eliminations for him, 6 total with Mr. Savage's 1. Oh, there's a player in front of him. He pops up in front of him. Oh, that's so scary there, but Benji Fishy is eliminated by Skype.
Sky has been around the competitive scene for a long time, and for good reason right there. Nyrox now owning from the high ground, putting that pressure down. The shockwave was initiated right there, but it's not going to be enough. This is their map to control right here in the final moments. They're the only duo standing, Golden Boy.
This is their game to win. The cooler duo. Is this going to happen? As they're putting the pressure on these players down low, they're synergized, they're communicating, and they're ready to pick up this victory royale in Game 4.
He only has 10 builds, though. This is very intense. Both of them don't have much here. He's going to put all the splashes down. Is that the decision right there to commit? Looks like the shockwave is going to cause an eruption in the high ground, and now they're in the zone here. What's going to happen here? So close.
5 players remaining. Few left as the shockwave is going to send him all the way up. Nyrox takes out Falconer down low, and he's trying with everyone. But Nyrox is out. Oh no, he's not managing to elimination, and in the storm, he gets the victory royale. 7 eliminations for the duo.
Non, bah, Sky a failli faire top 1. Et là, c'est top 2, je pense.
Huge shockwave play in the final moments right there. It's going to propel him to the high ground and allow him to work top down. But not only that, it chucked everyone into the zone for a couple of seconds right there. So it truly was the ultimate disruption right there.
The shockwave, the end of the game, will just change everything. The complexion of it all. And just everything that had happened right at the end here. Look at Nyrox. He just went down low. He wanted to get scrappy with him. He goes down. That's Sky and Chapix. And then it's Aqua who follows it up. Flew up right into the sky there. I also like looking at the player's face at these moments because the focus that he has. Ooh, man.
To hit your shots, you must hit your shots. Look at that. Stompy, Shinkin have talked about Aqua and Nyrox as players to look out for. They're scary competitors.
Franchement, là, je suis méga giga déçu de ce que vous voulez.
In EU, right? So we've had 2 games EU now, you know, getting a little scrappy out there.
Spicy.
I like to see it, right? Everyone's like, EU, where you at? NA, where you at, right? But hey, that is the game, right? You never know what you're gonna get. Saf and Zate still hold on to first place, but it's only gonna be by 2 points. Dubs and Mega, they're looking for that victory royale. If they're able to get it, hey, they could find themselves in first. Vinny and Zexro in 3rd place currently with 35 points, 5 shy of first place. Saf and Zate have to hold on to their title as the kings of the mountain. And in that last game, they just could not put it together.
Attends, dans le classement, là, il y a 0 FR dans le classement dans le top 10. Nice. Ok, dans le top 20, il y a que Bot, Sniper et Oslo. Yes, je suis heureux. Moi, il reste 2 games pour faire de la diff là. Bon, les premiers vont combien de temps? 41.
Points here, but look, Epic Whale still here as well. There's a lot of players in the running.
Putain, en vrai, ils devaient faire 14 games, mais ils font 6 games. Putain, $3 millions sur 6 games. Yeah, c'est fou.
Managing to get their win on the world stage. I know that we're going to have Jordan in a little bit with the winners. He's getting everything together. I want to hear from these players, and good news is we are going to do just that. So let's send it on over to Jordan, who has our winner standing by.
A massive shift for EU here. We all know that shockwave grenades can absolutely shift the balance of in-game, especially allowing you to propel yourself up and work your way top down to dominate and control what was the most exciting final moments of in-game here today. What is your plan going into these next couple of games? There's a lot kind of hanging in the balance here, right? There's a big momentum shift for you, and you have the opportunity to kind of go any direction that you want. What's your plan?
Our plan is just to keep going what we're doing right now, just landing our spot and going for consistent placement points.
Consistent placement points, that's key and can absolutely take the victory home as you saw just now. Back to you, GB and Monster.
Thank you so much, Jordan, for that one, and stay the course. No reason for you to adjust anything. If it worked out for you there, clearly you're doing something right, Monster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these competitive players know best, and stubbornness is in their name. You saw Jam Side 7 SSK say, hey, I don't care if I lose the first 3 times here. We're going to master this. We're going to turn it around. And they did. They had a great, at least, showing at some point at the last one. So players are going to stick to their guns.
Early engagements, man, that is just, I love seeing those fights with the gray weapons, right? You really can tell who can figure it out with not much to work with. That's always the challenge that players have to deal with in the beginning of a game like this. Now, I do understand we have Bala standing by to break it down and what we saw in Game 4. Bala?
Yeah, well, Aqua and Nyrox definitely showed up here today, and the resurgence of EU is maybe starting. We've got 2 more games to go, but I want to talk about Mongrel and Mitro and what they had to do in this game here. They actually ran into Zexro and Vinny. We're going to start off. GB, you were talking about early game engagements. This is one that's been going in the duo of Mongrel and Mitro's favor against Skeptic and Clicks in Neo Tilted Towers. The pressure here from Mitro to find out exactly where the first player is. Mongrel up above, then targeting on both. They try to get into the same box at the same time. They go down and just continue pushing forward. Mongrel and Mitro, it's the second time that they win this engagement here today. And it's not stopping. They continue forward onto Volks and Parpy and just try to hunt down everything. There Clicks is trying to escape as well. And then this snipe here from Mitro. He actually, not only did he hit that, and they get right into it onto Zexro, he hit Vinny coming in with a drift board right before this. So 1 elimination there for them. And then they had the engagement that we saw earlier. We're going to go ahead and run it back because this clutch puts them perfectly in position at 4th place right now. A reminder that this was with Mitro down after all was said and done. There he goes down, and then Mongrel comes in right on cue. He does not let his teammate go down. You heard the reactions earlier, and it continued because Mongrel got 1 more elimination in this game, leading to the 8 eliminations total before they fell, not before earning placements points though. So this game, not only did they take out Vinny and Zexro, which were in 3rd place, they stopped them from accruing any more placement points, so they are inching their way closer. They're now in 4th place. They actually have the most elims out of everybody in the tournament so far on 20. So with 2 more games to go, we're going to see where they can leave themselves at the end. Back to you guys, GB and Monster.
Thank you so much, Bala, for the insight there. Everyone getting all ready for games 5 and 6. And then we crown our first ever Fortnite World Champion. Crazy to say out loud.
It's happening.
It's happening.
This is it. It's happening.
It's happening, right? Now, there have been a lot of duos that have been the talk of the town, but one duo in particular that have a lot of fans excited are Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage. And we did get an opportunity to catch up with them, and they're currently in 8th place. Can they climb up? Let's go ahead and check it out.
Ok, il y a une pause là. Ok.
This is a scary duo. Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Our communication is probably the best in the world.
I'm gonna rift us.
Yeah, go.
I just think we're on another level.
Behind you. Double RPG, 3, 2, 1, go.
Absolute destruction there.
This dual partnership has changed our lives. We've been able to accomplish so much more together.
He encourages me, I encourage him.
We're best friends, we're duo partners, and it makes me smile.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Check me again, bro. We're Savage. We're Benji Fishy, bro.
My name is Martin Foss Anderson, and I go by the name Mr. Savage.
My name is Benji Fish. My name is Benji Fishy.
One of the most terrifying things coming out of Europe, period.
We live in different places, but we talk every day online.
I live in Oslo in Norway, and Benji lives...
I live in Surrey in the UK.
And I travel to England to meet him, see how he's doing here.
He has my back. If I ask him something, he'll help me out. We don't actually just play Fortnite. We play other games when we just want to have fun.
We have a lot of the same interests. He's always really humble. I love his personality. Yeah, we're great friends. Oh, shoot. Alright, yeah. Shoot. Alright.
Wow, ils font pierre feuille ciseaux. Oh mon dieu.
Oh, there's a guy northwest of me. He has an RPG on The reason why we're so good at playing duos is because we both have super good mechanical skills, good chemistry, and communication.
Hey, what's funny? Knocked one. Let's go, dude!
Everybody knew in the community that Savage was one of the best players in the world. He knows the game really well, so he makes really good calls.
Benji's just so insane at just eliminating people.
Benji Fishy is dialed in right now.
He just follows me perfectly. He fills in the gaps that I can't fill in.
You'd think a fish out of water would be harmless. Not this fishy. Not today.
People were definitely scared if they see some fishes running around Happy Hamlet.
You'd think fishes weren't really that scary, but Fortnite, it's quite the opposite.
We're in a really good state right now as a duo.
It's just close to the league. I think there's people on the other side.
We're playing super well.
Players, they continue to go down like flies.
We've been practicing. It's really nice to, you know, finally be able to...
Racontez pas vos vies.
I think we're just going to show people how good we are.
Hey, look at that right there. Some fans of Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy. They were diabolical in the online qualifiers. And maybe, just maybe, with these last two games, they could pull it up and get themselves into top 3, maybe even first place. How crazy would that be?
Let's be honest, you've seen them do very well so far. Maybe not the performance they were looking for. I know they want to pull a victory. They have everything it takes. They can muscle up from 8th. They'll be up there.
It's going to be a challenge for not them, but every single player. But we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, games 5 and 6, and then we crown our first ever Fortnite World Champions. We'll see you on the other side.
Putain, je me fais chier devant cette toile, copain.
I'm here in the player lounge right now, joined by our pro
Nique ta mère, Aerox. Fils de pute. Tu me fous la haine là. Je te déteste, Aerox. Easy way, je vais gagner la World Cup, il est même pas dans le top 20. Putain. Palmarès de Aerox, j'ai gagné le Pro M 2 fois.
World Cup duo winner.
It's amazing. I'm actually going to come tomorrow and sit in the stands and cheer for my man Airwalks. Yeah.
Maybe make an Airwalks sign and wave it in the air?
Maybe a 98 bot sign. I'll hold it up.
Good luck on the event tomorrow. Congratulations on winning. Congratulations on winning. Incredible gameplay throughout Fortnite World Cup Pro-Am.
My name is Serpent. We qualified on the last week.
Week 10, duos.
It was pretty crazy. We knew it was the last opportunity we had, so we were just completely focused the entire time, and it was just a huge relief after we qualified.
Yeah, it was such a relief. I was waiting for this moment the whole time.
Well, before the leaderboard updated, we was almost positive. We was freaking out, and then when we finally saw the leaderboard update, we just started screaming the entire house down. We started playing back in like season 3 of Fortnite. We just found each other through a Discord community and joined a squad team together, and we just stuck with each other ever since.
Yeah, pretty much. I've never ever played with another duo besides Serpent, so since day one. We both make calls.
Yeah, we both have things we're a little bit better at, but we try to take the roles like evenly. I'm just really excited to play with everyone from all the regions. Yeah, I would say from what we've seen, OCE is a lot more aggressive play style because we go for a lot higher point games, whereas yeah, NA and EU they have like way more passive play style than us, I think. It's a dream come true, to be honest. It's all I've wanted to do is just play games, and to have a huge opportunity like this is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, but yeah, just crazy opportunity to be able to play against the best players around the world.
Wow, qu'est-ce que c'est drôle. Haha, on s'amuse trop. Qu'est-ce que j'aime la World Cup, il y a beaucoup trop d'humour.
大家好，我是 XXM， 我来自中国。
On dirait une émission 450. Exactement.
我叫小蒙德，我来自中国。
我们是在那个亚洲锦标赛第6周海选的时候，靠双排拿到了亚洲第1。
A second rocket going to catch both players? How do you even find that angle?
当时我很高兴，我超级高兴，从桌子上跳了起来。
These guys do not miss. You have to be careful. You cannot sleep on them.
我们为了准备这个比赛，我们每天基本上要训练12个小时以上。
我想我到现场的话，我的心应该会蹦出来。
我希望他们可以好好的去看这场比赛，因为能学到很多的东西。
And it's over before we could even say anything because Xmende and XXM just destroyed them. Don't land on these guys.
因为我平时很喜欢购入，然后如果说获得这么多奖金的话，我一定会买。
也许我会在一个很悠闲的地方买一个栋房子，比如瑞士。
There you go, bro. Nice to meet you. Enjoy your weekend, okay? Thank you.
Profound respect. I see you guys play us for the first time.
Yeah.
A lot of skills.
Good fun. It's
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Very impressive.
Hey, man. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
I've been following you for so long. It's crazy I'm here. I can't believe this. Can I get a video of you saying that I'm the best Fortnite player?
Okay.
Can you say Lucas is the best Fortnite player?
Lucas is the best Fortnite player. Okay.
Alright guys, here's Ali and he has a message.
Very important message. Lucas is the best Fortnite player, okay?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much.
What's up, buddy? What's your name?
Kevin, man.
Kevin? Nice to meet you, bro. How we doing today?
Doing good. Congrats yesterday, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was crazy. $1 million jump. My teammate really clutched up.
Yeah,
Have a good one. Yeah. Boom. There you go, buddy. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one, man.
You're the girl that's your biggest fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. So, man, what's your name? James? And Justin. How we doing, boys? Sign right there. All right, good. Having fun at the event? Good. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, it was fun.
up guys, it's Clicks.
And it's Skeptic.
And we qualified for NA East.
Alright, so me and Clicks' main goal, we even said it the day before in semifinals, we wanted to shoot for top 25 because we qualified the first week that it was duos. So we wanted to shoot for top 25 and we just blew out our expectations of how we played that day.
This is my first LAN event ever. I'm 14, so before this, the required LAN age was 16. So this is a life-changing event that Epic gave me.
It's mind-blowing and it's a good journey. So one of my friends back in December recommended me to play with Clicks. So I tried playing with him once. We played.
Ils ont gagné une game, il me semble.
Amazing. Well, we played pretty good, but I had to do a part at a time, so it was good. But after he started competing high levels and Share the Love, he got first place and all that. I hit him up and we started the game.
And then the first week we
Ouais, bonne. C'est chiant.
And that week we qualified. Yeah. So we had 3 days of practice and somehow qualified. Yeah, before big games, get my nerves out and make sure I'm on the right track. I literally just scream as loud as I can. Like my stream knows it, so hopefully that goes along with.
I wash my hands. I'm not joking. No, I wash my hands. I have to get the perfect grip on my mouse, so I wash my hands a lot, like a lot a day, just to make sure I have a perfect grip on my mouse. Sounds pretty weird, but it helps.
Tons of people ask me questions on a daily, like how do you like find the right sensitivity? And I feel like that's obviously the big mechanical way for the game. So I just tell people to stick in like one sensitivity and just work your way at it, and it really comes a long way with my aim, my building, everything like that.
I say practice makes perfect with everything in life. Just I think about the game. The more you practice, the more you play in creative, the more you'll get mechanical, game-wise, and all that up. So I think practice makes perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The World Cup Finals Duos competition. My name is Dr. Lupo, and I missed you dearly. Joining me on the desk for the final 2 matches, Courage JD. You know him, you love him, one of the best men in the industry.
Oh, stop.
I'm super excited to see what these final 2 games have in store. We've watched a ridiculous competition thus far. Honestly, it's been insane. I've had a chance to watch some of the plays, some of the shots from some of these players, the accuracy, the heads-up gameplay. Jack, it's been insane. What do you think so far?
It's insane, Dr. Lupo. It is great to hear your voice, and I am so excited to be casting these final 2 games together for the Fortnite World Cup Finals duo competition. We are 2 games away from crowning our first ever Fortnite World Champions, who will win a combined $3 million US. That is a lot of money if you don't know how much US dollars is worth, because this is the World Cup, as you know. But Ben, I'm so excited.
It's insane. The $3 million for first place. It's not the only position on the leaderboard that takes home 7 figures. And to look at that leaderboard, we're going to throw it over to Sundown just to see where everybody stands thus far.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage. And what we have here is the current top 10 on the board. Now, we talked about this being the World Cup representation coming out in the top 20 from all of the regions in there. You can see NA currently sitting on top, but EU just behind them with representation from Mitro and Mongrel, Rojo and Wolfies. And then during the break, we got to talk to Hype and Serpent, who have also made a great play. Let's not forget about our most recent victory royale out of Nyrox and Aqua, climbing them into the top 10. Now, what we want to take into account, 2 matches are left. The highest elim totals we've seen out of a pairing is 12. We've seen it twice. What we have seen on the victory royale is 9 elimination, but more commonly it's right around 5 or 6. So what does that mean? We can expect about 2 of the winners to come out with 15 to 16 points. If you look at that top 10 right now, the spread is 17 points. With 2 games remaining, everyone who is on this board has the ability to challenge for the top spot to be the first ever Duos World Champion at the Fortnite World Cup. No one is out of it. The Chinese pair is just off the page as well. Anybody can make a play. 2 matches are left. Let's head back inside, back into the action. Lupo and Courage, take it away.
Sundan, thank you so much for your analysis of the board thus far. And you're right. Looking at the board, the limited spread between 1st and 10th 17 points is incredibly close, but that's not even the beginning of it. You have to realize that across all 50 duos, just 2 games, these last 2 could push any duo all the way up into the top. That top 10 taking rising home, Jack.
Yep. It is
Wesh,
as you know, people watching from around the world, millions and millions tuning in today. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I want to hear from you right now. Tweet Dr. Lupo, myself, Fortnite. Which region will come out on top? Will NA remain up top? Will EU surge back? You heard some of the Asia, Oceanic, Brazil region still trying to push on through. I think NA is going to do it. I really do.
It's anybody's game, to be quite honest, but it's interesting to see trends from the qualifiers of previous weeks. You know, the 10 that we had leading up to this moment. Some of the names that were stars then, stars yet again here, and that consistency is going to shine through in a big way as we go into late games. We've had some of the highest player count final circles that we've ever seen. We've had a lot of aggressive gameplay from people at clutch moments. And that's not the end, Jack. We've got 2 games left, and Game 5 is ready to go, Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, this crowd has been incredible live here at the Arthrash Tennis Arena in New York City. Which region will reign supreme? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle bus has launched. Game 5 is underway.
The last few matches, Jack, we've seen some relatively contested, popular drop zones. I've been watching on Twitter, and a lot of people have discussed whether or not Loot Lake right now is one of the hottest drops in the game. You have a number of duos, high-power duos that have dropped there consistently thus far. Do you think going into this Game 5 and 6, we're gonna see similarly contested early drops, or are people gonna change up the strategy with the amount of prizing on the line?
I think the thing that we've seen so far is the teams that stick to their strategy are the teams that are, you know, staying out on top. It's why they're consistently placing Sap and Zate, for example. Wouldn't be surprised to see people stick with their normal
En
game.
vrai, vers ce nid, il n'y a pas trop de monde. Et au centre, il n'y a pas aussi.
12 elims in a victory royale. 22-point game would shoot you way up the leaderboards.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't count yourself out yet, as we do see our last match winners currently on our screen.
Uncontested there. Nyrox dropping in an early baller, a very pivotal piece for late game survival. Going to farm up all the materials he can inside. Not going to smash too much of the outside until maybe the last second, just to prevent any reveal of his own position. He's just going to go ahead and move on. And actually does see targets down below. A couple attempted shots with that scope. They are accuracy at this level. Going to have to be very key if you're going to try and pick up an elimination that early. The scope might be exactly what Nyrox needs to establish yet another elimination to put himself higher on the leaderboard with his duo.
Remember, the scope, the assault rifle, a hit scan weapon. You aim, you point, you shoot. If it's on him, it'll hit him. And these guys have pinpoint accuracy, as it's known. You know, when you land on the southwest side of the map, if you don't land in an exact big area, it's a very scrappy start. It's a lot around getting a baller, rotating on through, and just try to, pick up one chest here, loot one building here, and piece some things together. It's known how tough it can be, but Nyrox and Aqua currently on their way. Let's shift our focus towards Neo Tilted here. You see Mongrel and Mitro, who so many times have been contesting here with Clicks and Skeptic. Clicks and Skeptic so far, pretty quiet day today,
I would agree. 4 duos, though, in Tilted. Going to be interesting to see who opts to take an early out, maybe go for the ballers that spawn in that slipstream around the outside, or maybe get a little aggressive and push on another team that spawns in there. Potentially from an earlier game, though, Skeptic hopefully learned his lesson. You don't want to L the camera necessarily too early.
Yep.
Love to see the confidence, though. He's a very confident player, which does not surprise me. Extremely skilled, so that kind of gameplay, you're going to see it from Skeptic on and off the stream and on and off the land here. Arthur Ashe Stadium, one of the coolest streams I think we've ever done this in.
Oh, incredible. It's, you walk on through, you see all the tennis greats, and I hope they put up a poster of the winner of the Fortnite World Cup there. Serena Williams, Sap and Zate.
Honestly, it would be incredible.
It would be. I think that sounds good to me. I think that people wouldn't be confused at all. But maybe it's the start of a great legacy here at this arena. But right now, you begin to point out Mongrel and Mitro landing here every single game. 4 teams though, still in Neo Tilted. When will the battles begin? 97 players left. Every duo still represented.
Crazy powerful loadout. You saw he has 4 shadow bombs this early in the game. those are incredibly powerful going into late game, especially
Les endgames, c'est ça qui est intéressant.
confrontation as much as possible until just the right moment. You can shadow bomb out of almost anything. Granted, the people that may see you rotate don't have pinpoint accuracy, which honestly is typically the case in a lobby like this.
Well, we go ahead and look at Lucky Landing right now. Two teams currently here. This has been the case so far this game. Gustavox, 8, and Wishy DP up against M11Z. The duo right there.
At this point, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like they're just opting to do a little bit of a split here. Just watching the opponents move around down below. They don't necessarily have to push this yet. They do have a little bit of time before the storm starts to make a move here, so pressure is going to be applied before you know it. But a loadout like this, there's no shotgun in the inventory. They have the shockwaves to rotate if they need to, but those are oftentimes saved for late game if you can do it. It's an easy way to push through opponents' builds that are above you, as we've seen in previous matches countless times. Take the high ground without maybe being challenged. The only downside is you put yourself way out in the open. We did see a number of players get eliminated on the fly, literally.
Badr, il voit pas les commentaires. Si.
So we'll have to see. Shots are behind Gustavox 8.
Parce que je suis concentré avec le World Cup.
Wondering if Daedra and M11Z decide to push off this Wishy. Reveals that he does have that heavy sniper. Grenades coming on through. Quick little reaction right there to box up for a brief moment. But remember, when you get that shield broken, there is a unique animation and sound effect. So Daedra and M11Z know that Gustavox up top has no shield left, and that heavy sniper rips through the wood right there. Good coordination to get some damage done on this player.
Daedra holding that edit, that pyramid at the top, so we can look through, and shots from the duo up above, Wishy and Gustavox. Well coordinated. No push yet. This is kind of a stalemate at this point, which for all 4 of these players may end up fighting them in the back. That being said, Wishy, the fly in right there, pushing up, trying to get past over to this brick pig and make their way into maybe a little bit of side cover.
Shrine made for me on the map. Now Wishy will go ahead and loot that chest alongside Gustavox, who are both out of shields. Looks like Daedra and M11Z did what they wanted to, which is to push them out of Lucky Landing. Not sure if they're going to continue to pursue this. It doesn't appear so right now. And all things considered, I don't think they need to, right? They can go back now, farm up this whole area, check for the certain loot spots that may have been missed, and continue to get materials now. Moving towards Dusty Divot. Rogue members Tetra and Eclipse currently building on up with players just below.
Clicks and Skeptic. Duo underneath. A little bit of a split for Tetra and Eclipse. Hopefully does not come to bite them in the back. We'll
non, Monster de pas ça que tu faut être modérateur.
Position with Tetra. Shots on the baller. You don't want to see those things last too long. Nobody was in it. It was just rolling down the hill.
And this could be really useful, Ben, because the players down low that are going to get by this airstrike, I believe it's Clicks and Skeptic, are only building with wood, and wood gets shredded on through. And Skeptic, because of that, now down to just 25 HP, and that might be the green light for this duo to push on forward. One player challenging up top. Eclipse has him trapped in the box. Does take a little bit more damage. It will be a build battle for height. Eclipse with a ton of materials, but look at the elimination feed. Tetra with the elim onto Skeptic, so it's a 2 versus 1. Clicks all by himself.
Even if there's a sacrifice to the 2v1, that 1v1 afterwards and the pickup, the revive your teammate might be the best play. We'll see here in a second. Pressure from above, not yet. Clicks all on his all by himself right there. Take just a second and heal up. Any chance you can get to get a little bit of HP might be the key to staying alive.
And this is where I believe adjustments need to begin to be made, right? Eclipse and Tetra, as they push on forward. Clicks now all by himself, trying to force him to happen. There's no shot right there as he goes down. The day of struggles for Skeptic and Clicks continue. But the point I was going to make right there is, now you're getting to a point where you need to go and push for those elims if you want to make the climb back up that leaderboard. Eclipse and Tetra obviously still have some work to do. In that 2 versus 1, before another team can begin to push on in and try to steal that last elimination, they have to force the 2v1. Thankfully, Clicks does it for them. They get the free elim and win that fight at Dusty Divot.
Meanwhile, Saf and Zate, first game winners. Currently, there's Saf beat from above. Oh my gosh, the heavy snipe to knock the pyramid, and immediately capitalizing on Saf being exposed, leaves Zate in a 1v2. A little bit of a panic, and the shadow bomb may or may not be enough. Right into the slip to try and sneak away. Gonna run down in some previous builds. That's a quick pick off there from 4ZR and nowhere.
And that's the second time we've seen that today. The player with the heavy sniper, they can see that the pyramid is being edited on through and peeked through. So they immediately call that out. They time the shot alongside AR shots, or that one I believe it was actually shotguns. And Saf is eliminated before he can even build a single wall. As right now it's Zate all by himself Now moving towards the northeastern side of the map near pressure plant. Our mech friend no longer there, but Nyx just took a ton of damage. Close by, I believe. Did he just get sniped? I think he got sniped.
I believe he did. Sitting on quite a bit of healing, though. The slurp, minis, that campfire, all going to be big there. You see he's waiting for the campfire to finish. He's going to pop that slurp, get back to 100, 100. Meanwhile, Airwax, Nikov owning the top of the ship here. Just taking shots at anybody that rotates. That high ground advantage, even early game. We look at it a lot late game. Yep. A lot of the build fights and late game rotations are capitalized by players that have the high ground advantage. But even early game, high ground gives the ability to scout. Aiden, Sean goes down. Aiden attempt to push on through and try and pick up the elimination on his opponent. Quinton inside the box there, does knock the wall out, picks up the materials, and can't quite grab the card of his teammate.
I was going to say, I think that the teammate was knocked, so it is a 1 versus 1 in this fight. Aiden at max HP, gets the high ground for the moment. Quinton, absolute the health disadvantage. Aiden most likely knows this, continues to push for this elimination, wants to clean this up as quickly as possible. Wondering if Quinton has any traps to be used right here. Doesn't appear so as of right now. That edit was just missed. Try to go back up to the high ground, just get above. Aiden pushes on in, spraying. Unfortunately not able to connect, takes 44 damage right there. Quinton, a masterful fight so far. Aiden's health advantage now gone as they're about 15 HP between each other. But Aiden has the chug splashes, and Dr. Lupo, they show off just how good they are right there.
Quinton stuck all the way up top, hopping that med kit, trying to get back to 100 HP. Aiden and Quinton in a little standoff here, a back and forth of epic proportions. Quinton, there's the score. A little bit of pressure. You got up above. Quinton trying to watch that, holding that pyramid edit. The peak tries to catch himself up inside the pyramid by resetting. Can't quite do it. Does fight for high ground. Aiden on controller. Don't forget that. One of the best controllers.
Je viens d'apprendre un truc avec cette de choses. J'étais quoi que qu'il faut voter premier et deuxième. C'est pas nouveau ça, je te dis.
The combat for who can own a wall. The back and forth is insane. And the top
C'est
down
démonté.
view. Aiden can't quite get that pyramid edit and gets caught in his own door.
Did he miss? Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he missed the edit out. Did wind up building a door, and Quinton makes it back in time to grab the reboot card. So Aiden and Sean go down quite early in game number 5. 74 players remaining. Storm Surge still currently in play. Zayt and Sap far above it at 385 damage above. Shouldn't really have to worry about that too much. As Zayt is in another skirmish right here. Dr. Lupo not deciding to use the chug splashes to get that health up.
An interesting note here, you see Zayt taking single swings the wall that he doesn't own.
Plus le nombre est élevé de gens qui misent dessus, plus t'as... Attends, comment ça? Plus le nombre est élevé de gens qui misent dessus, plus il a de gens. Non.
Oh my gosh, and Tux goes down. What an angle shot from Zayt there.
And that right there is Zayt baiting his opponent into making
C'est genre c'est par rapport à la côte. Et c'est... Bref, c'est par rapport à la côte.
From the very early days. He replaced the first wall before that fight even began. Then he moved towards his opponent, shot out the floor to push him towards the wall he already replaced. And once he did that, once the player ran and thought he was safe, he quickly hops on up, edits his own wall that he placed earlier, and gets the free elimination. It's one of those plays that separates Zayt from the millions of other players that play Fortnite.
There's a reason they won that first game, Jack. It's going to show through and through throughout all these matches. Ziff is called on your screen here. Game 5. 2 matches remaining.
It's a very easternmost zone, Dr. Lupo, so you're looking towards it right now. Lonely Lodge will still narrowly be in play. Outside of that, just the drone ship from up above.
The right side of your screen, don't get the format for these.
Wow, il se fait démonter.
I think he got caught with his build still in his hand. He wasn't expecting it.
See the blueprint out. You hate to see that. The victory royale worth 10 points. Top 5 is 7. Top 10 is 5. Top 15 gets you 3. And every elimination, that single point, and every elimination so valuable in 6 matches. We're not looking at the same 10 that we saw in the qualifying weeks. You have only the 6, but it's a guaranteed 6. You have to take advantage of every elim you can, because looking at the leaderboard like Sundown did earlier, 17 points at that time spread 1st to 10th place.
Yep. Here the fights continue. Tyler 15 and Lanane in an awkward position right now as Tyler 15 has gone down, and there's pressure from both sides. And you've got to think these players know exactly where they are, and that's what they're going to do. Already 4 eliminations between 4-0 are, as well as Noward, and they're trying to get this wall replaced. They got one. Did he get the pyramid as well? I can't tell as of right now.
Interesting note about Tyler 15 and Lenane. They had planned to run just the first qualifier, week 2 together, and if they did not qualify for the World Cup, they agreed that they were going to try and hook up with their normal duos.
Yep.
And lo and behold, they qualified for the World Cup, so here they are. They have not spent a whole lot of time together, and it's amazing to say that because the cohesion between those two, oftentimes when we watch them, they're on top of each other's game the entire time.
Yep. And that's why they made it this far. 65 players left. The next storm surge could be happening soon. You see the shockwave grenades used as Crims right now eats a rocket to the face, down to just 79 HP. Thankfully, if you're a Crims fan, he does have 5 minis to pop, 2 big shields. I'm sure Spades. Oh no, Spades is full health, so I was going to say, I'm sure Spades, if he needs some shields,
they are good to go. They are good to go.
Spades just needed more AR ammo to keep shooting, Dr.
Exactly, exactly. Hold down that left click and see what you can get. Especially in situations like this, we even saw that kind of thing happen in the Pro-Am. I think Tim the Tatman faced attacks from multiple sides while in a box.
It happens.
A number of players know how that feels, and so the ammunition does get chewed through quite quickly.
Absolutely is. You see where all these players are stacked up. Rope DW and Blue T taking over that main lodge right now. Sid's Lucky. Don't see the duo anywhere, so Sid's Lucky might be all by himself at the moment. 62 players left. Zate, remember, by himself. Saf did get cut down earlier on, and it looks like Vinny also all alone. Maybe Zexor dropped earlier on in this game too.
Going into these late games, Jack, especially when we're on the second to last, pressure is at an all-time high for some of these players, especially the ones that have never experienced a LAN event like this, and this is the biggest one that Fortnite has ever had. Do you think they're going to be able to capitalize on that, take advantage of their own nerves, and use that to climb the leaderboard?
I mean,
or is it going to get the best of them?
I'm just really, I can't even speak from experience on this. I mean, yeah, sure, I played at a few Pro-Ams, and sure outplaced you, Tim, Ninja, well, basically everyone yesterday as I got top 8, and that was an incredible performance that I'm truly proud of.
Jack, you outplaced us in both winnings and wake.
But as we take a look at this again, I actually forget what I was going for this because I was complimenting myself so much. But Nate Hill and Funkbomb, 2 players who had a very quiet day so far, up 4 points up to this game. They've matched that in this one alone, so they're at 8 overall. And well, that's that moment we're talking about. With the shield broken, the entire lobby has decided you are the player we're going to shoot at. And Nate Hill is burning through materials. This is looking like it's going to end right here for this FaZe clan duo. Nate trying to make it through. Just a frantic flint knock shot. At that point, it's desperation. 6 total builds, no healing, only 34 HP.
Imagine if Nate had caught. Wait.
Did tag him. And no.
Dawson no side. He's caught between multiple teams. Players rotating into the zone. Players that were originally taking shots. A tough break there in Game 5 for Nate Hill and Funkbomb.
Keenstar and Hunter do wind up finishing off that elimination with the help of Serpent and crew. 57 players left now. This zone, Ben, is in the middle of basically a forest, but most trees are now gone. I'm looking at the minimap right now. This is a pretty central zone where everything's remaining, so players on the outside will need to move in from all areas. The zone pushing forward. Here are Mitro and Mongol. A quiet game so far. 0 eliminations up to this point. The question remains, will EU climb up into the top 3? They're just on the outside right now. I know this is NA home turf, but I know the hundreds of thousands of European members of the Fortnite community are out there rooting for duos like Mongol and Mitro to pop on up. And unfortunately, when I mentioned EU duos, I just saw Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage go down to the duo of Arkram and Falconer as they continue to perform well in the top 6.
Not out of this just yet. 1 game still remaining. This circle, a east-southeast push. This is the 50-50 where you're going to see a number of players sit inside the next safe zone and take advantage of that ability to watch people rotate in. That's where a lot of the eliminations mid-game happen, is people trying to get into the next position, and players like Mongrel, Mitro, they are in spots to take advantage of that. That being said, Ronaldo does take out Mitro in the feed, picks up that elimination for the duo. 28 duos remaining. We're not even close to placement points yet. That happens at 15, Jack.
Yeah, and Mongrel knows this. When you look at his inventory right now, no combat shotgun, still this epic tactical shotgun, quite good. The big question for me, 2 shadow bombs, all the movement, how exactly does he play this? Mongrel looking for an elimination. Shot comes on in. Does get a small little shield tag, but not too much to begin to push that. Good job at least getting up this layer of height. Remember, it's so tough in elevation here when there's so many builds. Bottom right of your screen, another solo still remaining. It's Zate, who still has, I believe, 3 shadow bombs left, Dr. Lupo, to make plays in the late game.
Two of the biggest players we've watched thus far. A lot of people just waiting to see how things are going to play out. Mongrel holding this edit. He's waiting for that opportunity to pop up with that purple tag. See if he can do enough damage to pick up an elimination or at least a knock, especially as we get into the circles where movement of the entire zone is going to happen. A knock will translate into a full elimination. That siphon will kick into the HP or shield. Those last second elins before things start to move, those are huge. They give you that little boost you might need to engage in the fight on the move. Falconer, sitting in a great spot right now, kind of smack dab in the middle of the current safe zone. Yeah. We have 21 seconds before the circle starts to move.
I mean, I feel like this duo hasn't been spoken about a ton so far today. They're currently top 5, Dr. Lupo, in another place where
incredible players.
Yeah, they can absolutely make some noise right here in this one if they can finish strong. Remember, other teams in the top 5 though still have representation. With Zate still in this one, Falconer and Arkham. Arkham quite weak at the moment though, about 120 HP in total. 27 duos left. If you're keeping in mind the format of this game, it's top 15, and they're going to go ahead and shockwave across. They both use one shockwave together, and now the push begins. Falconer slowly inching towards this zone. He's being pressured by some stinks at the moment. Only 7 total builds left. He's got to follow up his teammate, and that's a great recovery by this duo. He's made it back to Arkham, but look at the high ground, folks. The battle begins now. Aqua and Nyrox are winners from last game.
Il y a 20 millions de personnes là, je sais même pas si c'est Aerox ou Nico. Par contre, Hunter et Kingstar, ils ont clairement choc. Hein. Tous les Solari ont choc. Solari dans le mal. Hein.
Previous game winner sitting all the way up on top. Cease and elevate, rotating across the very front of the circle. You see players flying across the current safe zone. The shockwave grenades so key in movement late game right now in the current meta. Players on bottom fighting it out. Only a few ballers left in play right now, and they're most likely, if not already, going to be eliminated.
Je vois Aerox là, mais je vois pas Nico. J'espère qu'ils sont juste dispersés. Inch'Allah, Nico fait toujours là lui aussi. Il y a encore Miz, j'ai vu.
Still making plays happen without any movement items left. We are one team away from placement points being earned, and there it is. We are now in our top 15.
Zay getting caught off guard from behind. Lane drops in.
He wound up dropping in 16th.
It's just outside of placement points.
Zay and Saf will not earn placement points this
Aerox
game. The
mort.
lobby beginning to drop like flies, and look on the high ground still, folks. It's Nyrox and Aqua setting themselves up for a great spot at the end of this game. 2 players still left in ballers. Somehow, Mongrel is, oh no, he goes down right there. 11 players left, Dr. Lupo.
Players all the way to the high ground, still Aqua and Nyrox. They have absolute ownership of everything underneath them so long as they stay on top of their material count. They don't get overzealous with those builds. You have to savor those because right now there's nothing left unless you pick it up from a player that gets eliminated. Item at the edge of the zone.
Vas-y Spike, t'es le seul sport français. La Solaris sont nuls. Oh, il y a Dedra aussi. Dedra Skite. Skite là il est bien. Skite il peut gratter. Il peut gratter du top. Mais ça Skate. Ok, il a un pod. Non,
Daedra and Wolfies in this game as solos. Cluja as well. Aqua and Nyrox. Could they get another victory royale? Currently at 5 eliminations this game.
Aqua, stink grenades from above. Still riding that minigun. Still 250 small ammunition remaining. And this thing is so punishing from above.
Oh, c'est ça le bon.
You have the shots on Wolfies from above the
là ils sont en
elimination
2v1, ils sont contents là, ils ont fait top, hein.
Aqua Nyrox looking to pick up the first World Cup back-to-back victory royale, Jack.
Pressure coming on in, they drop down low, the tag's coming. Oh my gosh!
C'est leur deuxième top 1, non?
A 17-point performance from Aqua Nyrox.
Ouais, c'est leur deuxième top 1. C'est mort pour les joueurs français qui sont claqués au jeu.
My goodness, folks, here it is again. Aqua with that minigun up top just made it impossible for any other team to even try to contest them on high ground. They send Nyrox down, Kluja there as well. Here, Kluja was doing everything he could, but again, when you're at a number disadvantage, Dr. Lupo, a health disadvantage, when you're on the low ground as well, I mean, I just don't see how you could even win the game. He tried to edit him down. Unfortunately, just can't hit the final shots as Aqua still drops him with 200 HP. And again, much deserved as they take the victory royale.
The reactions from these players are one of my favorite parts, especially at this level, Jack.
Yeah.
One game remaining. World Cup Finals Duos competition, and the best players we've ever seen in any lobby, literally ever.
Yep.
And we're here along with literally 18,000 people at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, and they are enjoying themselves here today. What a feeling it has been. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far of the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. A reminder for the millions watching online right now, we still have another day of competition, and tomorrow it gets even more intense. The solos competition will be underway. Tfue will be involved as well. I'm sure a lot of people here looking forward to that, as it is going to be one to remember tomorrow. There's no duos that can save you. There's no reboots. It's you and you only. The nerves will be at an all-time high.
Who do you have? If you look at the entire list of everybody for solos, real quick, one or two names. Who do you think's going to do well?
Oh gosh, well I'm looking at anyone who's double qualified. I mean, right off the bat.
Ok, sauf c'est Aqua qui est passé en seconde position. Ça va être Dedramis dans le top 10. Manga, le micro top 5. Voilà, le reste on s'en bat les couilles. Dans le top 20, il n'y a même pas un solarié. Franchement déçu. Déçu. J'espère que les joueurs d'Asolo demain vont relever l'honneur des FR. Parce que là, clairement, en duo, c'est voir. Votre sniper est aussi dans le top 20. Sky était Vato 15ème. Déjà. Benji Fishiki, Mr. Savage 12ème. Non, ça s'en bat les couilles.
Everything on the line here, players preparing for this one as it should be starting up momentarily, but again, there are our leaders, and what we saw right there was them actually looking at second place, seeing exactly where they stand. Remember, when tiebreakers come into play, that second victory royale could make a major difference. We are almost ready for this last game here, but we want to take a look back at game number 5 with Ball.
Thank you so much. Courage, the action is crazy and this leaderboard is so tight at the top. We're going to take a look at some of the moments from Zate and Saf's game, because Saf actually went down early. So let's go ahead and roll it, because this is Zate being 300 IQ. Using the sound of the slipstream. This is something he does so well. Crouching up. These players have no idea he's coming in. Finishes off the first one right away. That's for when Tux tries to make the play, but not before he finishes the elimination. And then Zate ends up going down, tries to get the wall replaced for a bit, but continues on forward, gets back up with the slipstream, eventually comes back up to take out the last remaining player here. This was a 1v2 clutch. And if you think about the standings right now, they were at 40 points before this game began. They got 3 points in this one here by himself. That's what kept him in the lead here today, right now. Finally picking up Volks on the outside of the zone. That's perfect play from Zate. Didn't get quite top 15, but he did get this one last elimination. And that is what is keeping them in the game right now. You have to remember, they did not play too well in the last game. They accrued a little bit of points, and they're doing it again They have to have a strong game here. But when you think about the rest of them too, Mongrel and Mitro, they had only Mongrel for a little while. Vinny and Zexro, they only went down to Zexro as well. So Clutch is all up. I mean, literally, it comes down to one player's performance. I can't wait to see this last game. Gentlemen, please, if you don't mind, close us out.
Thank you, Balla. Great stuff as always. And whoa, there. Okay.
Marshmallow joining us on the cast.
Yeah, I think that's basically exactly how it works. Now we have a little bit of special announcement for everyone live in the venue right now. Pay attention, Fortnite World Cup attendees, to celebrate the 1 p.m. Marshmallow live performance on Sunday, tomorrow.
Marshmallow va faire un
2,500 fans to enter the Arthur Ashe Stadium will receive a Marshmallow cosplay helmet to wear during the performance. The first 400 fans to enter the stadium will also receive the Marshmallow supply drop codes. These special codes contain the Marshmallow outfit, the Mellow Rider glider, the all-new Mellow Mallets pickaxe, and 1,000 V-Bucks. Also, the first 10,000 fans to enter the stadium will receive Fortnite-themed Thunder Axes to make noise while cheering on their favorite players during the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Doors to the Arthur Ashe Stadium open at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, so you want to make sure you get here early to make sure you get your seat. I'm looking forward to that.
Can you show me the axes, please?
I mean, look at this. You know how loud it's going to be in here tomorrow when you're banging these around, when you can annoy your siblings with these, when you wind up going home with them. I don't want to give everyone any more ideas, but I'm ready for that performance. It's going to be an absolute blast. I know, I'm sure everyone here looking forward to that as well. Marshmallow is so much fun to watch live, but Dr. Lupo, at the end of this game, we will crown the first ever Fortnite World Champions. I cannot believe we made it here. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. $15 million on the line here. 3, 2, 1.
Jack, 10 weeks of practice, the qualifiers, constant hours of scrimmaging against each other. These players know each other's strategies. They know where they're going to drop. They know when they will and won't pressure. This is going to be intense. Everything comes down to this last match, and as we've seen from previous games, 20-plus points is easily attainable in a single match, which means tons of players still in contention for first place.
Yeah, anyone can still make some moves here.
The back-to-back winners, Nyrox, Aqua, on your screen right now. Saw him making a drop down to the southwest corner of the map. If it works, I think you stick to it.
Right? I mean, it's working for these guys right now. Who will win which region will take home the Fortnite World Champion title? And already the first player dropped. Eclipse goes. Tetra goes. That will end their duos competition just like that before. Aqua and Nyrox have even landed. That's tough, Dr. Lupo.
Feels bad.
Feels bad, man.
Tried their hardest on to the next one, you know. Aqua, quick little note there, dealt 1,152 damage in the last match, over 3 times higher than the match average of 335. I think that goes to show just how involved Aqua and Nyrox love to get when combat situations arise, an opportunity to third party, take shots at players on rotation.
Yep.
Those damage numbers add up in a big way, and most of the time to eliminations. Jack, every elim's a point. Placement is huge as well. PF Zin and Nyx. Duo from Brazil looking to make shots here. Players over at Snobby do pick up that first elimination. Twiz goes down. His duo nowhere to be seen just yet, but that elim is big for them, an early point, very key. Format on the right side of your screen, if you forgot. Up top, that little evil base, the bolt action sniper rifle. Temporarily vaulted, brought back a headshot as a knockdown, 105 to the body. Big damage there.
So here we go. Players now still fighting. It's Keatstar and Hunter. Shockwave grenades picked up. 20 total builds possible right now. 200 HP, so they have all the shields they could ever want. Wondering if they've done any damage yet to their opponents. Looks like they'll just go ahead and be happy with backing on them for now. Don't want their final game to end super, super early.
We can see in the mini-map down there. I'm curious if they know other players are over there at Mega Mall. Meanwhile, Aiden and Sean. Paradise bombs. Aiden goes down. It's all up to Sean to try and make the clutch save. It is possible. SSK, jam side, also dropping down here every single time, but it is not enough. Jam side comes out on top. Able to temporarily save his duo.
And there goes Aiden and Sean. They now exit the World Cup duos as well.
More pressure though. Jay and Little also dropping here at Paradise. These highly contested, very important POIs are big. Oh my gosh, the aggression.
Shockwaves in, stink grenades deployed, and there it goes. The elimination comes on through as they got the scent of blood and like sharks in the water chase down their opponent.
You can't really blame them either in situations like this, though, especially the World Cup. If you get a knockdown, if you're in a 2v1, you're even willing to sacrifice your teammate potentially in a situation like that to try and get another.
Already, people are dropping much quicker this game.
Oh, 100%.
Already down to 7 duos eliminated from this one. 84 players left in total. And you might think, that's not a lot in Fortnite, but no, trust me, right now in a lobby like this, they're going quick. And I will say this duo of Daedra and M11Z, if they can make it to late game with the assault rifles they have a legendary assault rifle, Dr. Lupo, and an epic infantry rifle. Both of those can shred. And as we know, editing out windows, finding opponents who are rotating, maybe hitting a slipstream or in shadow form, some well-timed AR shots can mean quick damage and eliminations.
We're going to have to see going into the late game if this aggressive gameplay continues. 30 seconds until the circle moves. Meanwhile, over at Neo Tilted, we've seen this 2v2 so many times. Clicks and Skeptic versus Mongrel and Mitro. The high ground taken all the way up top. Pressure from above. Clicks looking to see if he can hit a shot. He was quick at it. 103 from Mongrel from underneath. Gonna edit out and try and take the high ground. At this point, no shield on Clicks inside the box. Trying to get the edit. Can't quite get it just yet. Here we go, opting to maybe fake a rotation away. Maybe using the shadow to climb all the way up the high ground. Can't quite get it. He's gonna have to jump all the way to the bottom to get back out of the fight. Hits from underneath. He's gonna box up just a little bit and rotate for a better angle at this point. Meanwhile, Mitro in the baller. Bottom of the building. They're paired up together at this point. Mongrel actually, they're shifted buildings away from each other. And Clicks and Skeptic have the ultimate high ground from above on this fight. Beaming that baller. Can't quite see if they got the break just yet. But separated, Mongrel and Mitro not going to be as effective as Clicks and Skeptic when it comes to solo, just applying pressure to a single target. And that's so important because if you can get a shield break or even a knock because you've shot the same target, like you've beamed them down, you push your shots through their builds to try and counter it. It's so much easier when you're standing on top of each other. That might be pivotal in deciding who wins the current 2v2.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and back on up. I will say Skeptic basically saves Clicks right there, who was down to just 28 HP. Skeptic didn't get there in time. They get the minis popped as well. Landjock and Punisher, who had some early exits in some games at the beginning of today, looking to see if they can end on a high note right now. One chug splash used to get up to 157 HP. Landjock with the elimination down on to Lanane as they continue to bust on through. 2 versus 1. Lanane dead. They get the full elimination. Chug splash unfortunately missed right there as he was shockwaved away, but he'll hop right back in to help his duo.
Drop in, fighting the same box. Tyler 15 goes down. That kind of 2v1 is tough. You're stuck inside the box with both opponents. There's kind of no way out, especially when some of the walls may not even necessarily be yours.
And Clicks and Skeptic run away from Tilted to not have to deal with a fight there, but instead push right into XXM and X-Men. Now the fight begins. Skeptic dropping on back, trying to dodge his sticks. Clicks taking a ton of damage right there as well. And did they just get an elimination? The player was knocked. The player was knocked, and the elimination was actually finished by the airstrike coming on through. Clicks does get knocked by the stink. We hopped away from that at an unfortunate time, but we do get an update there as Skeptic now at 150 HP eats the stink grenade to the face again, and with only 2 builds left, Clicks now knocked and nades flying on in. Oh, the 150! The 150 makes the difference! Can Skeptic clutch right now? You see the panic stink, he actually stinks himself right there. Skeptic with no builds, relying on just this hand cannon. Can they get the full elimination for the extra HP? It looks like they'll decide to fall back and eliminate Clicks right now. Skeptic looking to try to cut down this player. They have knocked. How many mats will he get? Looks like 12 total builds. be a difference maker in this one. Third wall in place, not going to happen as of yet. Tries to make a shot.
Oh my gosh! The clutch from Skeptic.
And you see he shakes his head right there, does get the job done. The one-shot headshot from the hand cannon, 150 to the dome, swings the battle in his favor. No mats, no teammate, no problem, as Skeptic gets the job done.
I said it before and I'll say it again, he's one of the most confident players that we have seen in the World Cup, and right there, literally standing in the open to bait a shot so he can hit that 150 with the hand cannon is huge.
He knew he needed to do something to swing the tide of that battle. It's literally nearly impossible to win with 0 mats and they have the high ground. And guess what? As the player went down to thirst, his teammate, well, things worked in his favor as he hits the shot. Saf and Zate, who had a 3-point lead on second place heading to this game, currently at 0 points earned so far, but still in a position where they can earn a lot off placement and finish strong to be crowned world champions. We'll see if it goes their way. They do have one heavy sniper, 4 shadow bombs you see in the inventory of Saf, and a launch pad too, so a lot of items to use in the late game, Dr. Lupo.
Another player flying in, Wishy DP. Gustavok's 8. Duo running below Stompy, Shinken, a duo that I want to have my eyes on quite a bit. We see a quick little edit fight here through the wall, and they pick off Zexro and Vinny inside their own build.
Zexro and Vinny, I believe, were top 3 or top 5 heading into this game, so an unfortunate ending for them. And all things considered, you know, Stompy and Chinkin were a duo with an average placing in the online qualifiers of 1.8 across the 5 weeks.
I think it was the highest average of any duo.
And we haven't really seen much of them today, so finally seen a little bit from that duo, as many people have very high expectations. Chapix running away right now, nearby as well.
Applying some pressure there to a ramp being built up. Chapix kind of all by himself between 2 duos here, Dubs and Mega. The heavy snipe to drop Dubs down. He's going to have to build back just a little bit, reconnect, and make sure your structures are held up by more than just one there, and somebody's got their eye on Dubs still. Gonna jump inside a pyramid, hold that edit. Mega sitting up on top of the windmill in a baller. Just kind of waiting at this point. They're just barely, you saw for just a second.
Yeah.
67 damage above the threshold.
But look, because it's a 70-player threshold and this lobby has dropped quicker, Storm Shield pops up. One player gets eliminated, it dropped the lobby down to 69, and immediately the Storm threat is over. So Storm Surge pops up for a second, but the Storm Surge shuts down on this second zone when the player count drops below 70. So only one player had to go down. That's exactly what happens. So the players below the damage threshold right there do just escape for the moment, as the threat is gone for right now.
1 minute remaining to the next circle. The final match for the duos competition here at the Fortnite World Cup. Still anybody's game. Like you said, $15 million on the line, and Saf and Zate are really pushing for that first place position. Applying pressure from above, gonna drop down. Do a little bit of damage, but not the best spot to sit and try and fight that. Saf's gonna back up top and use that final mini, 149 total HP. And I was literally about to say, can still go down to a heavy snipe to the body, and that may be exactly what happened. Luckily, at that range, Zate can still pick Saf up. Less pressure comes in on that duo.
Day. Saf knocked. It looks like Zate's going to try to go for the revive, and no one's nearby. Talk about a perfect scenario for them to be able to get a revive in. That could have spelled disaster. But up off the ground goes Saf, and they can breathe a sigh of relief as they're both back in play.
Looks like the players that took the shot sitting at that modern building at Loot Lake, the north side there, still inside the safe zone. Meanwhile, the spread of all these players starting to tighten up just a little bit. Mongrel, one of the most popular EU players, all on his own right now. Mongrel, Mitro, 10 points behind first, 2 points behind fifth overall going into this match. They are so close to the top of the leaderboard, Jack. Saf and Zate, by the way, first going to this match.
Continue to keep watching exactly where the players stack up. Mongrel puts all the pressure on him. If there's one thing you can see, legendary rocket launcher. Mongrel makes the most incredible performance of his entire life is if he can somehow get high ground late game and use the max ammo rocket launcher to just fire down shots and get multiple eliminations. And there's an 86 tag right away with that legendary infantry rifle.
Sees the build down at the bottom, looking just to take any shot he can, any damage he can deal. With eliminations, even just one or two, maybe Keys is lucky, and Rush flying in. Right-siders just a second. Meanwhile, Aqua and Nyrox, the back-to-back winners, looking to pick up their third duo victory royale. Intercepted, catches an opponent inside the same block. The duo looks to follow through, take the wall, the shots through, and the back-to-back Elin may happen. Still applying pressure, and there it is.
And you see the excitement right there. Every point they get is an opportunity to make this comeback happen and a potential win for the European region. I just saw Chinken go down the elimination feed, and they've got chunk splashes galore. Still get back up to full health, and still scrappy game right now for Zate and Sap. 0 points on the board, and they are nowhere close to earning placement points in this one.
A minute remaining before the next storm. They're going to have to position themselves to move. Before too long, pressure is going to happen on the rotation. You're going to see players in positions to take advantage of people moving in from the outside of the storm. When we get to circle 5 to 6, when the half and half happens, that's kind of when everything gets a little crazy, right? Yeah. The elimination feed is full of players getting knocked and finished by the storm. Potentially, you have duos going down at that point, but right now, Saf and Zate biding their time. They don't want to burn too many materials this early. 60 possible builds in Saf's inventory, 50 in Zate's. Don't have to move just yet.
Reminder for everyone watching at home, this is our final game today. At the end of this, the score will be tallied, and we will crown our first ever Fortnite World Cup champions, our Fortnite World Champions, live from the Arthur Ashe Tennis Stadium here in New York City. Stay involved in the conversation. Use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup before, well, everything goes insane in these next few moments. The fourth zone has popped on up. 56 players left, 34 duos. Who will take the final victory royale?
Now, Rojo and Wolfie's all the way up top, on top of the hill here. They do have at least one baller. They have an opportunity to move. Looks like Rojo's going to make that move. Wolfie's just kind of waiting, biding his time, maybe looking to take a shot at somebody. Baiting your teammate, not the worst idea. Rojo's going to
nul les faire, nul.
Kind of shack and farm up everything that he can. Materials, like we've said before, we'll say it again. You always see late games where it comes down to potentially who does and does not have builds remaining. So getting those couple materials can be key. Wolfie's, you heard the snipe shot there. Looks like nobody got connected with it. Still way above 107 builds in that inventory. Mega and Dubs down underneath. Literally right next door. Bell, Mongrel, across the street, 4ZR and nowhere. Saf and Zate. So many players bunched up in the same structures right now. This might be the time for players like Mega and Dubs to take shots through. That's why they're editing the windows. They're looking for players rotating or even getting pressured from others that may be around them to shoot in on the same surfaces, see if they can pick up those eiters.
Remember, Dubs and Mega currently top 5 in this tournament. Still looking to be able to break on through, to make some noise. The battle for first continues. The top 5 duos still all in play. Storm Surge did just pop up, but it's only for the top 50 players right now. So 2 more players need to drop, and Storm Surge will be over.
Just a quick note, I saw on the feed a moment ago, Nyrox, one of the back-to-back duo winners, picked up an elimination on Skeptic in the feed.
Dude, this is so close.
Tough day for them, but yes, 31 duos. More than half of the lobby needs to go down.
On voit Nikov mais pas Airbox encore.
And Nyrox and Aqua are sitting on 4 total right now, which is huge for them.
They're already in the next zone. They're on the high ground. They've got 5 shadow bombs, near max materials, 4 shockwave grenades, already 4 limbs. Ben, they could somehow do this. They actually are in an incredible position to win another game, and there they just eliminated Ronaldo. The 5th elimination for Nyrox and Aqua. They've already got another player down to just HP 2.
At this point, imagine 3 victory royales in a row for this duo would be absolutely definitive that this is one of the best, if not the best duo in Fortnite right now.
This is insanely intense right now. So much on the line for these players. They're boxed on up. Keep in mind, the average age of the players here today, 16, and what is that update? That's Nyrox and Aqua.
Jackets 1 point between first and second.
Point away from first,
On
but
voit tout qui
there,
tombe.
Zay gets it a limb. Now 2 points away again. Saf with an limb as well.
It was the same player. Was the
okay? There was the knocking him. Okay, but still, either way, within a couple points of first place, and on the top left, the team in second. On the bottom right, the team in first. Who will become the first ever Fortnite World Champions?
Go rotation occurring. Mongrel on the feet, picking up the elimination on Dubs.
He just knocked out. He just eliminated Dubs.
Saf and Zay waiting on the bottom. Only one elim, but it doesn't really matter at this point. They just need to focus on positioning and catching players on rotation. Funk at the top of your screen. Tons of players bunched up near each other. Mongrel headed. He shots the rocket out. See if pressure can happen there. And Mongrel may be able to pick up an elim soon. An RPG late game in competitive Fortnite. Super advantageous, especially if you have players that are on move. Get a shot just in front of him, just going for these quick edits. Mongrel's looking for any chance he can get to take shots at players that do not know that he's there.
And remember, earlier in today's competition, it was Nitro who winds up living all the way to the end by himself and getting 5 extra limbs, which put them into the top 3 after just game number 1. Now it's Mongrel's turn to do the same. The new pickup for FaZe Clan looking to clutch on up. Putting shots down range. I believe this is Mega, one of his teammates on FaZe, who's on the other side of that metal, and he's not relenting with this pressure. Both of these duos actually in our top 10 right now. The new zone pops on up, and this is a full moving zone. Did he get the elim? He did! Mongrel with the elimination onto Mega. Just single-handedly took down Dubs and Mega.
I don't know if you saw that when the elim popped up on his screen. The eyebrows raised just a little bit. He may have even been surprised that he picked that one off. That's a huge point for that duo.
They're absolutely within arm's reach of making this happen. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the final moments of the...
Yes, avec